That's not our vibe. Welcome to the Elemental Tea.
Hello, witches. Welcome to the Elemental Tea, Season 2, Episode 2. Today, we're going to be talking about the catalyst. So, we're talking about Aries energy. We're talking about spring equinox. We're talking about the initiator, the pioneer, the leader. How are we catalysts in our practices? And where do we need to be more of a catalyst? Or where do we need to lessen the catalyst? The importance of the catalyst and the importance of change and evolution and inspiration and initiating. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So welcome everyone to the tea. Cheers.
Yes.
Yes.
So Veronica did such a good job. So bye, everyone.
That was it.
Wraps it up. No.
Goodbye.
We hope we catalyzed a lot of thoughts for you. Right. Bringing in that fool energy right up front.
Right up front. Yeah.
Let's go.
Where do y'all think you're the catalyst at when it comes to witchcraft? Like, where do you feel like you kind of bring a little bit of chaotic change, but like we talked about it, FAFO energy, which
Yeah,
we
I would
covered a lot.
definitely say I'm in the FAFO category. Like, I inspire others to not be worried about being a fuck up because I do it all
No
the
shit.
time and I'm
Yeah.
okay. I'm still
Right.
alive. Learned a lot on the way.
Mhm.
Yeah, just being like, bring on the mistakes, bring on the failure, learn, you know. You learn so much about yourself when you mess up. Like, how do you deal with it? Right. And how you change. Like, when you really sit in that and like absorb like what you've learned and really reflect on it, you start to notice how like patterns of how you deal with those kind of things and how you could, if you take it personally or take it as like a personal, like I'm not good as a human being because I messed up, that
Mhm.
really impedes on your catalyst forward or like your growth forward, your evolution. Whereas when you come to a place where you kind of go, okay, that didn't work out, why did that not work out, and you question it and you look at it, it becomes more like your own personal classroom, and you can evolve as a witch or as a person, and
Mhm.
I don't know, that's like a pretty, yeah, I would say like that would be my cat, like what I bring into witchcraft is probably faithful witchcraft. Like,
Yeah.
just take a chance, try it, see how it works. And there's so many things I've probably said in the past that maybe I don't agree with now as a
Mhm.
person. Like, I'm a different person now than I was last
2
year,
weeks ago.
even.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, sometimes
Right.
I'm like, oh God, did I just say that? Well, fuck.
Yeah.
Like who I was yesterday.
We never step in the same stream twice, right?
No.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 I
I
think
think for
there's
me, like, um, I'm not indigenous, but like growing up as like a seventh generation Oregonian, I think I'm seventh, like fifth or sixth or seventh, somewhere in there.
Mhm.
Like my family was very like given that they were settlers and colonizers, like really oddly like, and maybe this was like the Appalachian energy that they brought, but like very much into like the stories of the people who were here before and
Mhm.
like the spirits of the land. And I grew up, like not with a formal like grounding in that, but like there were always like books of, the Pacific Northwest Indian legends or this or that, like around, my grandparents' house or my great grandparents' house. And, I even have one of them. It's called Coyote Was Going There. And it's like one of my favorites. And it just has so many stories, and it's very dated, obviously. Like there's going to be some things in there that are maybe a little like reading problematic from our point of view today, but it's like things that were collected in the late 1800s and early 1900s, from the different tribes like all over this area, and it's so good. And it's one thing that kind of inspired my magical name, which is Coyote, because I realized like Coyote is the catalyst, right? Like all the trickster
Mhm.
deities
Mm.
or folklore characters in all of the folklore everywhere all over the world, like they are the ones that fuck around and find out,
Mhm.
and but in doing so, like they create different things in the world.
Mhm.
And I love that energy. Like I love like like I really like wanted to take that name because I needed more whimsy in my life. Like I needed, like I was just in this place where I was with my first husband and I was like I have become like such a frumpy like person, and that is not who I am, and like what happened to me, and like where is my joy and where is my playfulness? And when you see coyotes out and about, it's like they're playful,
Mhm.
like whatever they're doing. And they're very resourceful as a result of that because they're like, hey, let's try this. Hey, let's like they approach the world in a playful way. And I wanted to bring more of that into myself. But I also feel like I am that person that like encourages other people to feel safe enough to like you, Julia. Like I like am like, hey, have you tried this? Hey, have you thought about that? And sometimes like I'll bring two people together, right? And it's like, hey, you have this idea and you have that like knowledge and you guys can make this happen. And it makes me think, with my background in biochemistry, like a catalyst is in a chemical reaction is like this thing that's part of the chemical reaction, but doesn't get consumed by it, right? Like it's just
Mhm.
like platinum is a really good example. Like platinum has this ability to like bring things together and like then they react and then platinum like lets it go and it is unchanged. And
Mhm.
I love like that idea that it's like we can both like fuck around and find out and be changed by that, but we can also be like the catalyst that just brings other things together
Mm.
and makes it happen.
Mhm.
Right? And oddly enough, it was like when I was in one of those like MLM cult things, like I went to this, conference, and there was this really cool class where it was like it was almost like a personality test thing, and it was kind of like what's kind of like your role, like
Oh.
like in
Mm.
business or whatever. And I forget what the name of the system was or whatever it was, but it was like, and mine was the catalyst. And I was like, yes, that is me. Like, I am not the person that can really necessarily like run my own business or like plan things and make them happen or whatever. But I'm the person who's like, hey, here's an idea.
Mhm.
Boom. And it's like throwing like the match into the powder keg,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
Spark.
making shit happen. Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice.
I feel like
Mhm.
I'm the catalyst in a very embodied way, like through my own sense of style and like
Mhm.
Mm.
creativity and like I mean, we talked a little bit about dancing earlier, like embodying the chaoticness of how my body moves and without judgment of how that is perceived by me and outside of me, just like existing. And I think that that's always like my body's always been a part of that. And I think that's why I've always loved like style, like personal style, because I think
Mm.
you can say so much with a garment of clothing or with the way that you wear your hair or like with like wearing lipstick, I think is a catalyst, right? You're you're trying to make a statement in some way. It's a very power move,
I
especially
was
for
gonna
women.
say, yeah, lipstick is always like my power paint.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's
No
like
matter
I'm
what the rest of
I'm
my face
here.
looks like, yeah, like whatever color I choose, it's like, oh, will I choose like a subtle color? Like that's my vibe today. Am I choosing like fucking there used to be Fenty had this color and I wish they still had it, and it was called Black AF, and I'm like it was my favorite. And I want to have it like I lost my stick and it's probably too old to use anyway, but I'm like, ah fuck, I wish they still had it because it was like such a bold like black, and I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so I definitely think it's like something that is embodied for me. And I'm an Aries rising, so that makes a lot of sense. Like it's very tied to my physical body, and somehow or some way, it's like it's my very presence. I think I'm the catalyst, which is uncomfortable sometimes because
Mm.
I have a lot of Saturn energy, Capricorn Sun, Aquarius Moon, Mercury, which argumentatively Aquarius, I would argue to say, is also a catalyst. But it's just very uncomfortable sometimes because I'm like literally just existing and I feel like I fucking change shit around me, and or people feel uncomfortable about that energy. And it's like Julia said, is like challenging yourself not to internalize that as your problem or your issue. Instead, learning how to take your power back by embracing that about yourself. And that's why I love fashion so much, because I was just like, okay, fine, I'm gonna be like a fucking chaotic person. I'm just gonna dress crazy or dress how I feel for the day and like shake it up. Because I also don't dress the same every single day. Like
Same.
I feel like I have to dress like how I feel. Like,
Uh-huh.
if I'm feeling
Yep.
moody one day, I'll dress emo. If I'm feeling like really chaotic, more punk, or like, sometimes I feel very elegant and, I just want to wear like a nice dress. So it just kind of depends, but it's like giving yourself the freedom to confuse the hell out of people. That's where the chaos comes, because it's like people cannot figure out who you are. But it's just like, bitch, I change every day. Like, I'm not the same. And we should all be like that. We should all lean into that full energy, because staying in a constant motion means we're not growing, we're not evolving, we're not learning from our mistakes. And then you do get stagnant. You do feel frumpy, like you were saying, May. Like you look at yourself and you're like, who am I? Like that's how I know when I'm stuck in a cycle, is if I'm like repeating the same day over and over again. So I'm like, how can I be a little chaos demon today and take a different path, build some new neurons, and that just gives me the confidence, I think, to challenge myself to get out of that fixed, stuck state, or really leaning into the curiosity of like, what would happen if I made a different choice today? Who would I become? And what is the potential that exists there? And to me, that's like how we can really embrace our own creativity as well, because we're leaning into the what if, like
Yeah.
what if I did wear black lipstick to my very corporate meeting? What the fuck would happen?
Right.
Let's
Yeah.
see. Let's
Right. Maybe nothing, maybe a lot.
maybe nothing. Or maybe like my boss says, hey, I really liked your
Right.
thing.
Or maybe it's like,
You
man,
know?
that's a
So
bad bitch. Maybe we should.
yeah, like
Do that
challenging
too.
yourself. Obviously, like there is chaos that can be too chaotic. Like I'm not talking about that destructive chaos. I'm talking about the potential to create something new or a new pathway for yourself. And that curiosity opens doors, especially in creativity, because when I take a chance, I'm always thinking about what Julia's little saying is: 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah. 100%. I'm gonna get that tattooed on me.
Yeah, like it is a pure catalyst saying, mantra, if you will. And so I know sometimes it can be so easy to get stuck in the perfectionism of creativity and like, oh, should I release this? Or, oh, people are going to like this. But then it's just like 1, 2, 3 goes. And like once it's out there, it's like, it's not yours anymore. It's not your problem. And if people like it and they resonate with it, awesome. If they don't, you get to move on to the next thing. And that's super exciting, especially when you have ADHD. Like I get a new dopamine addiction. So
Right.
I don't know. It's something that I have to challenge myself with creatively, but I also really appreciate the catalyst energy, because I think it's also something we can utilize in our personal creativity to inspire or move someone. Like you put on an outfit and then somebody sees you and they're like, oh, I want to dress like that. And then you like inspired that person, and then like they have the confidence to dress like that. Or like you make a film and somebody sees it and you change someone's perspective. And that's like a huge deal, like to have that much influence in your art and to be able to say something and someone resonate with that message, then they like take that little seed and then they grow it in their own way. Whether they're like, oh, I'm going to go paint this thing, or like, I'm going to write my own script, or I'm going to do this or that or the other. But you're just planting seeds. And I think that's what the catalyst is. It's like you have the ability to create more positivity around you when you let yourself stay curious
Mhm.
and be the tornado.
Yeah.
That is
I was thinking be the volcano, because it's
be
like
the volcano.
because
Yeah.
where we live, we have like like Julia and I, we have the volcanoes,
Yeah.
and it's like
Ring
they
of fire.
can be very destructive, but they also create things, right? Like they
Yeah.
create islands, or they create mountains, or they create, like fertile soil, or I think about Mount St. Helens, or like who I live near and have grown up with, and I was 4 years old when she erupted, and just seeing how like the land has recovered over that year. And some of that is like a little sad because the timber companies have like mono planted in some places, and so it just looks like sometimes when you're driving through the Mount St. Helens volcanic monument, it's just like it's almost like you feel like you're in a video game, like where everything is just like the same, right? But when you see like the areas that have been left wild, that are protected, and how they've rebounded in the last 40 years. It's just amazing. 45 years, I guess now, but yeah, almost 46. And also I'm thinking about, because I started thinking about, yeah, when I get really chaotic, like that's when I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna shave my head. And I shave my head, right? And it's like people are like, why are you shaving your head? It's December. And I'm like, because I needed to shave my head. It just had to happen. Like that's what's happening right now, like,
Yeah.
and also, but then I'm like, but then I can wear wigs because I have like a few wigs, right? And I started thinking about Moira Rose,
Yeah.
Yeah.
O'Hara,
Moira.
I love you, like I miss
Aw,
you.
rest in
But
peace.
like, oh my gosh, she like that character is just so unhinged, and I'm like, I need to be her. Like that is like, I'm a little her, I'm a little Alexis, and I'm a lot David, right? And I'm like, I need to be a little less David because David is so like neurotic, like, and I just need to like lean into like like David wants to be Moira, but like he can't let himself be Moira.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to let
Yeah.
myself be Moira and less David, and like wear the blue wig for no reason. Like
Yeah. Why
I love
not?
it.
Yeah.
You know what's really wild is like you talked about the volcano, and then Julia earlier you were talking about a woodpecker that was around you.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
in my Mayan astrology, I am Gavan, which is Earth, but it's not in the same way that we would think about Earth as in like regular like pagan elementals. Earth is actually having to do more with like the mind and the intellectualism and like
Mm.
air. But
Mm.
the way that they describe it is it's like a movement or like a heartbeat, like like it just is like there isn't like a physical essence to it. And so sometimes they compare it to like volcanoes or like earthquakes because it's just like it's like the earth's heartbeat, and it's almost like a
Like a
natural,
pulse.
yeah, a pulse, thank you. And it's like a natural intelligence, right? Like it's how the beaver knows to build a dam. It's how the deer knows how to graze, right? Like it's just something that is innate.
Yeah.
And that really put into context for me like my energy as like a catalyst form, but like in an embodied form rather than like I don't know how to make if that makes any sense, but it's like energetically, I'm like, I walk into a room and it's like boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, oh, okay, so it's the volcano, it's the pulse. Like, how can I be mindful of that to not also cause chaos, like destroying things, but also like what how can I utilize that to plant seeds and like it be more of a creative force because we also I think we briefly talked about like how the catalyst, you were talking about this, Julia, how to like kind of target the energy so that it doesn't
Oh,
become
like redirecting and
redirecting.
yeah.
Yeah, redirecting the energy so that it doesn't become destructive. And I feel like that's a constant challenge for me.
It's so hard because I feel like I contradict myself to myself. Like not in the sense like I say one thing and the other, but in the sense like I have two thought forms in my head living all the time at the same
Mhm.
time. And one of them is like, yeah, how do I redirect so I don't cause chaos? But then I'm like, but what if chaos is important and I
Mhm.
destroy shit? Like, what
Right.
if I am stirring the pot and causing a little chaos? Like, what are people learning from that?
Mhm.
Like that me coming into a situation cause a little chaos that maybe revealed something for
Reveal the
someone.
truth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or the other way around. What if someone came in? Like, there's been things that people have done that piss me off that in the end I learned something from it. Whether it's, or like it kind of in a strange, like chaos magic, like in a strange way, like developed into something else. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I just it's so hard. It's so fucking hard, you guys. It's like
It is
I
hard.
constantly like I want to believe this, but then this is also true. And it's like, how
Mhm.
do you
It's the
how do
twin
you
energy.
yeah, it's probably what it is. But
It's
like
the
it's like how do you
Pisces stick.
discern like which way to go? And I guess that's like why I have a hard time with the concept of balance. And I think of things more in the concept of harmony. It's
Mhm.
like you gotta, it's a little bit of a give and a little bit of a take. And there is no known perfect way, really. Like we can never not hurt someone or
Yeah.
something.
Mhm.
As just by existence, we are destroying,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
plus other things the same way. Like everything. It's like that is the universe.
Yeah.
Everything is
Yeah.
breaking apart and coming together.
Entropy, man. I'm
Yeah.
telling
Yeah.
you,
So it's just
I'm gonna get the formula for the change in entropy tattooed on me as a because I passed
I,
pre-chem, god damn it. And yeah, it
It's
was a long time ago at this point, but it has to happen. Yeah,
but then
but
that's when I'm like, neuroplasticity is so important.
mhm.
yeah.
And subjecting yourself to things, and that's why I love the my 1 2 3 go. And I'm sure I didn't invent this, but this is what I've been doing since I was a kid, is I've
Mhm.
always liked it because it puts me in positions that makes me uncomfortable,
Hmm.
but then it gives me a resilience because it makes me more neuroplastic.
Yeah,
Is
you're
that the
like,
way
I
to say it?
survived that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
I'm so
because then it's like, okay, well that happened. Wow, I survived that, but also I learned these qualities or these coping mechanisms or whatever. Like I've
I
just
learned
learned
that
things.
scuba diving is not for me. You know, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I did it.
Mhm.
Well, that's
Yeah.
part of the Aries energy, I think, too, is it's the like the warrior is like one of the things too, right? Like when you warriors, even though they get the idea of or the stereotype of like being like the hero and they're strong and all this stuff, but they destroy shit
Yeah.
at
Mhm.
times.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
And I
That's what that whole like Superman Batman movie was
yes,
about. Yes.
Yeah.
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 And even in our own bodies, like we are constantly destroying our own cells. We're
Mhm.
constantly, and then making new ones. I mean, that is just the nature of the universe. And I think
Yeah.
like sometimes destroying the status quo like is what needs to happen, and it can be
Yeah.
really uncomfortable. Like Julia, like you're like living on that growth edge, right? And like some people like get to that growth edge and they're like, yeah, no, I don't, that's not for me, and honestly, like I feel like if you can't deal with that, like how can you do a spell? Like how can you put
Mhm.
your
Yeah,
energy into a spell and expect it to work, like if you are afraid of that fuck around and find out energy, like what the fuck is going to happen?
True.
Like I
mhm.
have all the respect in the world for people who have studied like the complex magical systems and like adhere to them or whatever, but like that is not me. Like I am not that person. Like I am definitely like a I love taking like the knowledge that I've gained from some of those systems and like using, these thought forms and these correspondences that have been around for, hundreds, if not thousands of years. But at the end of the day, I'm like, if that doesn't make sense to me, like, fuck
Yeah.
it, it's out, you know?
Mhm.
So then
Mhm.
it's like, well, what does make sense to me and what can I change? Like, that spell fell flat. Like,
Mhm.
where was my energy? What was I doing? Was I just like rotely following something that somebody wrote in a book and not
Mhm.
feeling it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
embodiment part too, like what we were saying a little
Hmm.
bit ago, is I think that's one of the ways I enjoy like that catalyst energy. Um, Obviously
Mhm.
like through movement and dance and stuff, because I feel like when you even if you're not going with the intention to do like a spell and you end up dancing and you're like, wow, that felt really cool. It's almost like if you're spell casting with your body as like you are a wand, like using your body as like a wand. And so you're able to like tap into these different things and spark these different things. And even like we were talking recently about movement and stuff and using like your eyes. And there could even be something as like your gaze and like Aries being correct me if I am wrong. I was about to say Veronica, but anybody, but I'm like Veronica because you're all astrology. Like Aries rules like most of like the face and head and stuff, right? Yeah. So like using your eyes sometimes can be so powerful in movement. Like there's just something about whether you're on camera or on stage or whatever, is when you have like an audience of some sort, when you just like look and you don't do anything else, there is this like tension in the audience where they're like, oh shit, what's about to happen? You know? So
Yeah.
it's just like this,
Mm.
there's something so powerful. And to me, I feel like anytime I've done that type of movement or I've seen it on stage or anything, it's almost like when you have that, like leaning into that energy, it's like the body remembers that it has that strength. It remembers that you're not
Mm.
powerless, or even if it's not dance, like martial arts or something, like it's like your body's like, oh yeah, I do have this power in me somewhere to do this thing. And I feel like that's a really good like catalyst energy, is to
Mhm.
just embody it. And
Mhm.
it brings so much, I think, for people. And like I said, with the spell casting part, it can do so much if you just lean into that energy. And I think that's what I really like about it.
Mm.
And I think like there's something to be said too, and it makes me think about like when you are like spell casting and you're raising like the energy, right, for your magic. And parallel to your eye contact thing, right? Like when you're performing and like God, I miss performing so much. I haven't done it in so long. Even just like freaking karaoke, I love,
Yeah.
but yeah, making that eye contact like with the audience or somebody specific in the audience, and
Mhm.
then knowing when to let it go and break the tension. And that
Mhm.
is such a like underestimated skill in spellcasting, because I tell you what, like there was this group that I used to circle with, and it was like, God, we would do such powerful rituals sometimes. And if like as like time went on, it was almost like the people who were kind of like the facilitators of the group would kind of like, even if they weren't like priestessing the ritual, like they would almost like step in and try to direct the energy like too soon or whatever. And I'm like, are you
Mhm.
even feeling this? Like, let it be, what it is.
Mhm.
And God, it would frustrate me so much, and everything would fall flat, because they would like pull the energy out and like send it like too soon or whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, man, we are still like in it. Like, let us go. And it's also what I love is static dancing.
Mm.
Mm.
Because, and even, I mean, it's better. Like, I think we were talking about this earlier, like it's better with a group, right? When you can
Mhm.
go in person or whatever. But shit, just even like for me to put on like a Nia video or like put on some music and dance by myself, or like I love Nia, by the way, but not a plug. They're not paying me. I'm paying them. But like but like, just like I love just that like experiencing your body like where it is in the moment too, right? Like,
Mhm.
and there was a yoga class I took recently also, by somebody like who also does shamanism and stuff, and breath work and kundalini. And breath work is great for this too. Like if you can't move, like maybe you're not feeling like that, or maybe you have like some kind of, condition that is preventing you from moving, like dancing and stuff. Breath work is amazing. But it's just like they were like, just move any way you want to. And it's like, and it's so hard for adults to do this, right? Because we are like, we don't want to look like idiots. We
Yeah.
don't want to look like, we don't want to spread our legs in front of a bunch of people, or we don't want to like, like roll around and moan or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
So like if you can find a group where you feel safe doing that shit, is so freeing, right? Because
Yeah.
just like realizing like what your body wants. And I always think about like that line from, Marie or Mary Oliver's poem, like your soft animal body, do what it wants, right? I mean, I know I'm saying it wrong, but just like, and that when I first read that poem from her, and the soft animal body, like just spoke to me, because I'm like, yes, we are soft animal bodies. Like we are not cogs in the capitalist machine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
How do we like bring that into our magic? How do
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
remember who we are and what we are?
Mm.
And
How do
that's what
we
I really enjoy about it is like giving people the, like, when I've taught classes, giving people the permission to feel okay that they can create this thing, whatever it may be at the moment. It's okay. Do a thing. It's in a way like a fuck around, find out. Like, let's just do it. Do the thing.
right?
Yeah.
And it
Let's
feels
try
so
this.
good. And sometimes like the moments that would like come from that experience, like if the students were like recording themselves, putting the camera in the corner or whatever, and then they were like, oh my God, I'm so glad I got that on camera. Like that looks so awesome. And it's just like, yeah, you just do the thing. And one of the classes I used to teach, it was like one of my signature classes called Sultry. We did blindfolded dancing and the room was all red. Like that was my signature thing, was to have the room all red, lit up all red. And the way that the people danced with the blindfold on versus like other times where they could like see themselves in the mirror, it was just so like raw and passionate. It was just so cool to just see, like, you did, they were like, okay, I have permission to dance however because I can't see myself.
Right.
And then they
And
just
and I
stood
can
it.
pretend nobody else can see me
Yeah,
either.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Yeah.
I
That
find a
makes
lot
me.
of,
Oh,
oh, sorry.
no, you go, Veronica. I'll say it after.
I was just gonna say I find a lot of power in the performative arts. That's where the
Yeah.
term soul exists. I'm performing for the first time this weekend in 20 years, and I
Wow.
am so excited.
That's
And
awesome.
I feel like it's 100% magic in every way. Like it is pure ritual, especially dance. But I think there's something to be said about letting a complete stranger see you in an embodied way,
Mhm.
and a part of you that you've always wanted to express, but have always kind of held yourself back from it because of your own judgment or societal judgment, especially women at like a certain age. You're not allowed to like dress or be or exude a specific type of energy, but like I feel like that's fucking bullshit, and I hope everyone goes against that. But that's another reason why I'm personally doing it, because I'm like, damn, I've let these people control me. And it's like it's that catalyst of like I'm gonna perform half naked because it's breaking out of that mindset of like, no, you're going to see me, like this is going to probably make you uncomfortable just as much as it makes me uncomfortable, and or they'll probably just really love it because I'm going to be in an environment where other women are doing the same thing, and then it becomes that collective egregore of energy that lifts each other up, and then we all kind of feel this confidence. So I think it's just a 1 2 3 go moment for me, because I'm like, I'm really battling like past eating disorders and like judgments of other people and judgments of myself. But that is magic, to put yourself
Yeah.
into a situation that scares the fuck out of you, and then
Mhm.
like, I'm gonna let myself be the most vulnerable, and then it just like breaks the brain. And I'm already excited for like all the other things that I get to do. And like, um yeah, and that's also another thing that I'm trying to like break in my brain, is like, instead of saying I have to do this, it's like I get to do this.
Mm.
And that has also kind of been a little catalyst in and of itself, is just kind of remembering that I want to do these things, and these things bring me joy, even if they kind of scare me. And I did that with karaoke. I used to be terrified of singing in front of people, but we did a little ritual together years ago when we were in a cult. And and then now I love singing. I probably annoy people now. I'm
I
like, let's go to
know.
karaoke.
Like, I just don't give a shit. Like, I don't care if I sing. And like, I love it when people are like, "Oh, I don't sing very well. I don't want to do karaoke." I'm like,
That's perfect.
Like everybody's drunk, we're all having fun, like just fucking do it. Like,
Just
I
do
mean,
it.
yeah, just fucking do it. Like, just do it. Like because again, we were made to express ourselves. Like
Yeah.
ever since we were like coming out of the trees, so to speak, like that is part of our humanity is
Yeah.
dancing and singing
Yeah.
and falling down and getting back up and like
Yeah.
writing and talking and making weird sounds and
Yeah.
banging on things
Full
and blowing
energy.
on things
Yeah.
and hey, let me try this food and let me like my friend was planning like a little get together and with like we work together but we've known each other since way before then. And we have this other coworker that she knows very well because they trained together, and I don't know her very well at all. But like, she was like, "Does May have any allergies or weird food things?" And my friend was like, "May will eat almost anything at least once." Like, and I was like, "Yeah, I will." Like, pretty much, like as long as I can, like, even things like that are really like, oh, I don't know, like as long as I can get past like smell and texture, at least like for a bite, like I'll try it, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not gonna
Mhm.
poison me. Okay, cool. Because that's the thing is like, are you gonna die? No.
Yeah.
Will you
Yeah.
learn like I may like this and I will never have it again, and I hope I never even smell it again? Looking at you,
Exactly.
natto. No, I'm just kidding.
I
I
love
actually like
natto, man.
natto
I
if you mix
love
it with rice
natto.
and like yeah, I love it with rice and ume. Like if I mix it up, it's good. But like my ex used to eat it like right out of the package, like straight, and I couldn't stand the smell of it. I'm like, bro, what are you
I like a
doing?
lot of stinky food.
Yeah, I do. I love stinky cheese and other kinds of stinky food, but yeah, I could
It's
not
like
do.
the Dijon sauerkraut,
Yeah,
natto cheese. I'm
I
like,
think
oh
with natto,
yes.
it was the texture more than anything. Like yeah,
Ugh.
but yeah, it's so. I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like there's so many things that we are terrified of, but it's like, what are you really scared of? Because
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
gonna get hurt. You're not gonna,
No.
die. You're not gonna.
I
Mhm.
think also it's like a lot of conditioning culturally in North America in general. I think you go in
Mhm.
other parts of the world, I don't see it as much, but I can't speak to every place in the world because I haven't been everywhere. But from what I've noticed, um, I just feel like I'm not saying that there isn't a lot of freedom in arts and culture in North America. I just feel like in comparison to other parts of the world, there definitely is like a level of, oh, art can only be observed by people that can afford to go to the museum or like who can buy it. I mean, you could go observe it, but it's just like even if you were able to go to the museum, it's not like a lot of people didn't have access to the education to even appreciate how to observe art
Mhm.
or like to even take the time to like there isn't the language like there isn't the language taught of how to observe art or consume art. And I just feel like there's also this thing of like art is this and this, but it's not this and this and this. And
Right,
I just feel
Mhm.
exactly.
like, like people are knitting or quilting or dancing or whatever. I mean, if you're dancing ballet, it's art, but if you're doing like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a dance like hip
Working.
hop, it's not
Yeah.
art. And it's I just feel like creative expression comes in many forms, right? Like whether it's like a physical, like you're creating something, or you're creating a movement with your body, or you're creating like a type of food, or you're making stories or writing poems, like and acting. Like there's so many forms of
Mhm.
creating other humans. Like there's just, I mean, sensuality is creativity. It's like
Absolutely.
it's such a
Yes.
raw form of
Yeah.
creativity and like
Mhm.
passion and tense
And
and movement.
tuning
And
into
I,
your body and going like, does this feel good? Does this not feel good?
yeah. And
Mhm.
you like, you like, I mean, I think about, growing up in a Catholic environment. I just remember it was kind of like, oh, those girls are hussies because they're dancing and wearing short things. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, this is good. And you
Fun.
know yeah, I just
Mhm.
remember like especially they would look like I would see that there was a lot of like looking down upon other, like let's say I remember I had my Barbados friend, and she was very like open about wearing like very revealing things, and she could move her body, and she was young. Like I remember we were like 14, but for her, she was brought up that, you know, you don't like, it's what, like for her, it's like what God gave you, what you were born with, and you celebrate it. And moving sensually doesn't mean you're doing it for the gaze of someone else,
Mhm.
right? You're not trying to like,
Mhm.
it's the celebration of what you are,
What
who
you
you
are.
are, right? And
Yeah.
like, and sensuality doesn't mean, and I think this is where like the North American bullshit capitalism thing comes in, patriarchy is just like, oh, you're doing this for the male gaze or like the whatever gaze. And it's like you're doing something sensual because you're doing it to attract this other person in, but it's not for yourself. It's not, and it's also, it's not just about, it's not for yourself, but it's like, it's not meant, like you're not supposed to share it. You're not supposed to share your sensuality openly. And I'm like, just because you share your sensuality openly doesn't mean you want to fuck everyone that you see
Right.
next to you.
Right.
Right? Like it's
Creative
not about that.
expression.
Yeah, it's passion. It's like it's
Mhm.
creative. It's
It's
like sacred.
femininity.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like sacred fire, the
yeah.
spark. Like, you know what?
Mhm.
It's just like, why is that so bad?
And
Like
I guess
that's
I think, I mean, like, cause yeah, I live in Portland. It's like the strip club capital of the fucking world, right? And like, I always think about people who are like, are you okay with your girlfriend stripping or whatever? Like, because if you are in a feminine body, your sensuality does not belong to you. It belongs to your
yeah.
partner or,
Yeah.
Like
you
you're
know.
either selling it or it belongs to someone, or you're
Mhm.
trying to like advertise yourself for
Right.
potential like
Right.
to be
And in
married off
the
or
best
whatever.
of
Yeah.
worlds, like that would be a job that your girlfriend enjoys and makes her money,
Mhm.
right? Like, you
Mhm.
know, if like women weren't exploited in that industry, right?
Yes.
And not all of them are, right? Like, I
Mhm.
mean, there are
Mhm.
definitely even, you know, in Portland, good and bad clubs, you know, to
And
work
it's
for
also
or
an
whatever.
art form.
And it is
Yeah.
an art form and it's a beautiful art form and it's
Mhm.
amazing. And it just is like, I'm always in awe of people who do, you know, that work and the pole and the like, whatever else they do, you know, and like, oh my God, we have stripper karaoke. I love it. It's much fun. Anyway, because like
Sounds
that,
awesome.
yeah, that place, like it's, they, like the dancers there, like, and there are dancers that like have all different kinds of like styles and it's like they really truly seem to enjoy like working there and you know I hope that's true, right? Because they look like they're having fun or expressing themselves in a different, you know, like I love it.
Mhm.
But you know I've also been to places where I'm like this is fucking depressing and I need to leave, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
know, but like just that idea of like you're not, your sexuality is not for display, like
Yep.
your
Yeah.
sensuality is not
Mhm.
for display, it belongs to your husband or boyfriend, or you know you shouldn't show it off until you have a husband or boyfriend and then
Mhm.
it should only be for them, and you know this whole bullshit. And I'm just like, and sometimes I listen to this stuff and it's so funny to me, and I hope I don't sound I hope I don't sound racist or culturally insensitive, but I hate the fact that like in America we tend to do this thing where we're very anti-Muslim, right? And we'll talk about how like the Muslim culture, oh, they cover up their women, they do this, they do that, they control how they go to school, they control if they go to school, they control, and I'm like, but you're doing the same thing in America. It just looks
Mhm.
different.
Mhm.
And it pisses me off so much. I am like, what the fuck, dudes? Like, you know?
Mhm.
I mean,
Yep.
and it makes me disgusted and it just pisses me off because it's like, and also just, you know, like, I mean, like, not to go way off topic, but I mean, even, you know, the choice to wear hijab or not is a choice, right?
Hmm.
Like, you know, in a lot of ways, people are doing what makes them feel closer to their faith or an expression of their faith or makes them feel like protected or makes them feel whatever, right? Whatever it is that they feel when they wear hijab or they choose to. And just that idea that women don't have the agency to do that for themselves. And I'm not saying there aren't times and places where they don't, right? Like that, where the choice is taken away from them. But like, I hate that we just paint such a wide brush and say, like, that's not, you know, okay
Mhm.
because they're doing this, but it's like we do that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do
I
it
feel-
a shit ton, and I have a lot of like fiery rage for this topic. Um,
I could sense
because
that like right away. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Right.
Bring
I'm like,
forth the catalyst, Nishida.
right. I'm like, hear me throw, like,
Be
let
the
me throw this
change.
match on the topic.
so I started pole in 2008, and Man, it's a whole different world now. But back then there was just like this uh, just this very sensual empowerment. Everything was awesome. And then all of a sudden it started getting very sporty, nothing wrong with that. But then there was this debate of like, pole should be in the Olympics. And then there was like, I'm not a stripper, I'm a fitness pole dancer, and like all that kind of stuff. And it was just like, and so what? Like,
Mm.
where do you think this studio started? Like, where do you think this information came from? Like, where did this movement come from? And where are you okay to take exotic dance class using the word exotic and you're totally cool about it? And I don't know, I just had a lot of feelings about that. And I've been asked so many times, like, oh, but why do you have to wear the little outfit? I'm like, so I don't fall off the pole. Okay,
Right.
why do you have to wear heels? Because I'm short and it makes my legs look long and it makes me feel good.
Right.
It makes me able to reach higher on the pole and I can stick better to it. And it's just like, why do I have to explain this to you?
Right.
You're not in the building with me while I'm dancing. I'm not dancing for anybody. I'm doing whatever I want to make myself feel good. Like, get the fuck out of my face.
Right.
So I don't know. It,
I love a heel and a platform, girl.
yeah,
Or you
I
could
mean, I
just say
do.
like, why do you ask stupid questions?
right.
Right.
That's
Why don't you mind your
eventually
business?
that's eventually where I went to, but like at the
Mhm.
beginning, I just had this like feeling of like I need to like stand up
Yeah.
for this community. It was so small back then,
Yeah.
and now it's everywhere. Like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I pole dance," which I'm glad for, and I'm glad that there is a little bit more of like an awareness of it and what there's still the battles of sporty versus sexy or whatever going on. There probably always will be. But yeah, it's just like it's not for you. If I'm dancing in my own house, it's not for you. And if it was out in a club, okay, like we were saying earlier, it's an art form. Like leave it alone. And I mean, in different places, like courtesans are like, so highly regarded and, in history and stuff. So I don't know, just the way people have something to say about things that are more in the sensual or passionate thing just makes me just, I don't know, want to punch them.
I,
No,
I
I
think one of
agree.
the things that bother me the most is this culture we're in, specifically here in North America, of like doing anything that is sensual or creative is transactional only.
Mhm.
And that really bothers me. I mean, of course, everything is transactional to a certain extent. Like, and I think of it in the sense of reciprocity.
Right. I was gonna say.
Yeah, like sharing in like the energy, but it's like, and especially specifically, I'm talking about when it comes to sensuality stuff. It's like, if you wear this, then you're going to get raped because it was your fault. Or if you dance like this. But like, I've been to like, dance parties and raves and like salsa dance studios and like all kinds of things. We used to have this thing in Montreal. It's called the Tam Tams, and it would be on Mont Royal. And there's a big statue, and then people can bring their portable drum, and they would all just get to this beat, and they would repeat the beat. This would go on all day, by the way. And you could stop and go, and people would just come in and play the drums, and then other people would just dance. Anyone would dance. People would
Awesome.
come with their kids, old elderly would come, like everyone, business people, and it was so amazing. And like there was a lot of sensual dancing. I remember I was going there since I was like 10, 12, and there's lots of like it's a ecstatic dance.
Hmm.
And you just close your eyes and you just dance, and sometimes you brush up by someone by accident, but you just keep moving. No one was fucking anyone. No one was
Right.
jerking anyone off. No
Right.
one's like rubbing up and down off someone. Everyone was respectful, but
Mm-hmm.
you're all like experiencing this moment at the same time, and it's almost
Yes.
like this release of ecstasy. Like everyone's in this like um it's like a meditative state, like trance. That's
Mhm.
what I'm trying to say. It's trance. And it's like the
Mhm.
most fucking powerful thing when you
So
all
powerful.
experience this trance state, like your outer body,
Mhm.
and you're
The
just moving and
pulse.
you're releasing.
Mhm.
And it's like I'm talking about it, I'm getting full on goosebumps. And like
Right.
it's
No,
just
it's
so
amazing.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's like multi-generational, and it doesn't have to be about like, well, we're moving sexy, so that means we need to fornicate. Like, what the
Right.
fuck?
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
exactly. Let's all go
Yeah.
fuck now.
So weird.
Like,
Well,
what is your
Sensuality
problem?
doesn't equate to penetration.
Right.
No. And I just
Like,
like I hate that. It pisses me off that everything always has to come down to like a transaction of like someone needs to own someone else's body
Mm.
because you moved a certain way. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's usually female presenting individuals if they present us like more erotically, it
Mhm.
automatically is giving um permission to male presenting people to have ownership of them, like, you know what I mean, or control over them. And I just pisses me off, like it's just so
Yeah.
stupid. And
how dare
yeah,
women and
Yeah.
femmes express themselves, and honestly, like shit like that. I miss like drum circles. Like that's what got me started playing the djembe. Like I
Jimbe,
love
that's the one, that's it.
I
Yeah.
love the djembe, yeah. And we used to have so many more like in the 90s and like the aughts, like they just have kind of fizzled out a little bit. Like so, I get it out of my system at pagan festivals. And I'm the person like I have like a couple of hoop drums that I made, and then I have my djembe, and I'm like carting all of that shit, to like the fire circle, and I'm letting
It's the
and like a lot of
best.
people are very like guarded with their magical instruments, and I'm not. I'm like my drums are sluts. They love to be played. They're like, cool, like here you go. Like have at it. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Love it.
yeah, and I just, and I have some rattles, and and it's just because
Yeah.
I love the fact that like I'm letting somebody like try this out and experience it
Yes.
for the first time, or maybe they don't have the means to do this for themselves. They can't make their own drum. The cost is too high, or they can't go buy a djembe, or they can't, whatever. And it's like I'm giving them that experience, and I
Mhm.
love
Yeah.
that I can share that instead of being like I have like four instruments and I'm not letting anybody else play them, and whatever. I mean, if it's your magical instrument and you want to like, it has magical power, and that you want, like you have a special relationship and you don't do that, that's fine. I'm not saying like everybody should do that, but that's just like my vibe, like, and I love that. And I just, it's so okay. Side note. I'm thinking about how like I just feel like what is missing from my witchcraft is that joy and whimsy. And like, yes, I work like with dark goddesses. I mean, Kali like has been there a long time. Hecate has been there a long time. Durga has been there a long time. Who else? Fucking, I mean, just you know, uh, Inanna, like who is, all kinds of everywhere, and it's like these are the goddesses that I jive with, but it's like I'm also all about like love and ecstasy, and like why are they not? They are. Do you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They are. And
Mhm.
I feel like people in the pagan movement right now, I just feel like are focused, like really focusing hard on that dark, like, oh, hex, like, which is very powerful and cool, and part of all of that, right? Like, and I'm not saying like I do that work. I do that work, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
also, like, sometimes I find that what's more powerful is like being like, here, you sad ass son of a bitch, have some joy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
if that makes me like a love and light pagan, then so fucking be it, I guess. But like, I don't
I
know.
think it makes us more human.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It gives us the ability to like really live in our own bodies and our own lives. And like joy is like an act of resistance, and
Resistance.
hope is an act of resistance.
100%.
And like
Well,
getting to like enjoy
yeah.
the body that I'm in, that society, wants to
It's
break
on.
down collectively, is like fucking resistance. Like
Mhm.
it's
Yeah, I
empowering.
I love this because I've been thinking, like, especially with this Aries season and like the fool energy and everything. And I think the world is so heavy for a lot of people. A lot of people are really suffering right now. And I think it's really important, like, do the hexing, do it, do the baneful shit, be angry, get that fucking anger out. You need that anger. Don't tamp that shit down. But also, like, give yourself permission to fucking have joy. Like,
Yeah.
that is just as important. And it's going to back up your anger. It's going to boost you. It's going to bolster you. It's going to give you need to replenish. And I think, I mean, that's what I think we've had this discussion many times before. It's really good to be angry. It's really good to do the baneful shit. But you need community if you can, and you need to give yourself joy. You need to have fun. You need to laugh. You need to see good in the world, because what's it all for if we're not living?
Right.
100%.
Right. And like they want like, and you know what I mean by when I say they, like the
They, yeah,
shitheads, they want us all
Totally.
down and miserable,
Mhm,
and
they
we have
do.
to be
They
like,
want us
fuck you.
scared.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
We
fool
have
is
to
the
like
most
resist.
the fool is the most important archetype in the face of fascism. To do
Yeah.
something that breaks the status quo or how they want to control us is to just be like fucking ridiculous. Like that's what absurdity, that whole
I
art movement.
love absurdity.
It's the
Me
best,
too.
So
right?
powerful.
Like
Yep.
I'm
Mhm.
gonna dress up as a fool and I'm gonna walk around and like poke fun at things because I'm speaking the truth, but I'm also breaking up the fucking shit and people are laughing and joy spreads and like it's also creating those spaces, which is why it's so important. Like each of you kind of talked on a subject like creating a dance space that is inclusive of all bodies, but also that teaches this sensual art form that isn't going to judge you, and then creating art spaces that teaches about ballet, and it doesn't matter what class you come from or how your body looks, you get to learn this or see this. And then also creating those spaces for the drum circles. Like you play my fucking drums, like come have some fun at my backyard event. Like
Mhm.
it's being the catalyst, the leader to create those spaces. This is why I'm so big on like cultural arts, because I'm like,
Mhm.
it's in the cultural spaces where we
Yeah.
like really build that diversity. Everyone is welcome, every background, whatever you look like, because it doesn't elevate, it doesn't turn into this like commodified thing. It's just people expressing with
Mhm.
each other, and we're sharing a space, and it's a safe space, and it's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun to make
So
shit.
true.
Mhm,
Like-
it is. Yeah, I want to start hosting more. I did one and it was just me and Bill that showed up, but I want to
Oh,
start, but I also didn't like I didn't promote it very much, but like, we have community spaces at the libraries, right? And we have
yes.
like a really robust library system in Vancouver, Washington, where I live. And they have these beautiful community rooms, and like I'm just wanting to have like a craft circle. Like just come bring whatever
Yeah.
you have and like come hang out with other people doing crafts, like
Yeah.
and like I had this idea and I want to approach one of our local bookshops about it, is like, how like a typical book club, like everybody reads the same book and then you talk about it. Like I want to have like a witchy book club that's like fucking
Oh.
chaotic, where people are
Ooh.
just like, I'm just going to be like, okay, we're having our monthly book club. Bring a book, whatever book that you love or you have read or you're in the middle of reading and you want to talk about. And we'll just talk
Yes.
about all the books that we have and whatever book we bring, we bring. And then, like, I thought it would be great because it's like, then I get to learn about this book I haven't read. And I get to learn about like people that might be like vibing on the same level with me and my magic. Or like other people might be like, oh, you're into like Hermeticism? Like, I'm into Hermeticism. I'm like, oh, yeah, well, I'm into fuck around and find out. Oh, me too. You know what I mean? And it's like, I love the idea of just like having like these chaotic, like not like we're going to have a workshop to learn how to make this specific card out of
Mhm.
these specific pieces, and we're going to put it together in this specific way,
And
and
have
you
to
can
pay a shit
express,
ton.
yeah, and
Mhm.
pay a shit ton, and you're gonna, and
Mhm.
then I'm gonna sell you more products at the end of it. And you can express yourself by choosing different colors. You know what I mean? But it's really the same card that everybody else is
Mhm.
making or whatever. And one thing that Julia said about art that I kind of want to go back to, because it's true, but it's also like one of these things that can be barrier for people because of how they think about it. But you were talking about how like we don't have a lot of framework for talking about art and like why it
Mm-hmm.
means what it means to us. Like what makes this piece, like what makes Hieronymus Bosch's, you know, Garden of Earthly Delights so fucking compelling. Like, you know,
Yeah.
why did people translate the butt music into, you know, modern
Yeah.
notation and then record it, right? You know, like because that shit is fucking chaos wild, right?
That
What
song
makes
is
it
metal, by the way.
it's so good, right?
It's so good.
But like,
Yeah.
yeah, if you haven't seen it, like it's on fucking YouTube and all kinds of places. But also like, you know, what makes somebody like Matisse or like Picasso, like what makes this like speak to us, right? Like, because sometimes, you know, you can look at these famous artists and you're like, shit, I can cut out pieces of paper and glue them to another piece of paper, like Matisse did in his older years, but you're like, but why is his piece of paper so fucking compelling, right? And we don't all have that way of like accessing that, like you said, that knowledge, right? Because we don't all
Yeah.
grow up in this
There
space
isn't
where we
enough
have it,
education
right?
on
But
like how to
I
consume
also,
art and yeah.
yes,
I'd pay
yeah,
for it.
totally. And I think it's important. And I do think it's important, but I also think it's a barrier for people because I think in
Yeah.
our culture, people think
That's
you
what,
have to
yeah.
have that
Mhm.
in order to experience and
Yes.
talk about and
Agreed.
love art, right? I think it's important. I think we do need that education 100%. And I think all
Yeah.
of us need that education. But even if you don't have it, go to the fucking museum, go
Cultural
to the
Yeah.
art gallery.
spaces.
You know, like
Cultural
go to the thrift store
spaces.
and find an old prom dress, put it on, go to the gallery opening, pretend that you're fucking rich if that's what you have to do to get your ass there. Like
Mhm.
I've shown up in jeans and t-shirt, I don't give a fuck. You know,
Oh yeah.
like, but I'm also in Portland, like, because
And then
that's how we
ask,
roll.
they have people there that can
And
help
they
you
they
and
love to
inform you.
talk
And
to you
they're
about this
so
shit.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are
Libraries
so
are
good at
awesome.
describing, yeah, explaining like what the
Mhm.
intent of the artist is. And they usually have the artist's intent on the wall anyway. But
Yeah.
like the more you go, the more you're going to accumulate the language, like the lexicon and
Mhm.
understand it. And the more you understand it, it opens your world up because it's like art is like, and I'm just talking about visual art right now, but honestly, it applies to all forms of
Mhm.
creativity. Like, even to me, like someone doing like stitch work and things,
Mhm.
like it's like your internal world coming out into the outer world, and it's like the reflection of that person's view on the world. It's like it's such a beautiful thing. Or
Mhm.
even just like their inner world, like I said, coming out in the outer world.
Yes.
Like
Mhm.
that's just so amazing to witness in
Mhm.
whatever format that is. Like when I read poetry, like words get me so hard. Like when I listen to music and the words are just right, I'm just like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
and
like,
it's
shut the
just,
fuck up. How do you know me? Shut the fuck up.
yeah, it's
Right.
amazing.
Stop seeing into my soul.
Yeah. And like, it's just, it's so important. I really feel like if we can do anything this Aries season, I would encourage anyone is like find a way that you can go and consume art, you know, whether that's going to a museum, go into a library, look at art books, go with a friend, go to a freaking concert if possible. And concerts are so expensive now though, but like
Go to
maybe
an
like an
open
Go to the
house.
open mic,
theater.
open
Go to
mic,
it.
go
Like,
to the cinema.
seriously,
Go
go
to
to an
the
open
cinema,
house for
please.
sale and see how people have staged that fucking house because it's fucking gorgeous
Yeah.
sometimes, right? Like,
Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
experience film in the theater. It is
yes,
meant to
in
be
the
seen
theater.
on the
Or you're like
screen.
your community playhouse, right? Like
Mhm.
Yes.
tickets
Or
are
your
dirt
high
cheap for those
school
things.
play.
High
Like,
school,
if you have a
yeah.
high
Like,
school down the street that's doing a play, go support those kids. I was
Don't
that kid.
watch it on a live stream on your phone. Don't watch it through
Mhm.
social media, through someone else's perspective. Go experience it for yourself because it is a different experience to have it with other people. It's like dancing, right?
Yeah.
We're in the rave together. We're experiencing this thing together. And it is like, it's like an instant like moment in time where you're never going to be in that same place at that same
yeah,
exact watching that same piece of art. Like it's a catalyst in
amazing.
and of
Like,
itself.
I'm so glad I saw Sinners in the theater.
I know
Yeah.
Sinners.
Because,
Like
like,
I just saw Project Hail Mary. Oh my God, amazing! Please go watch it. Please go support that
I
film.
still
It
have to
is.
see the Martian. I read the
Please go see
audiobook,
it.
but yeah.
Yeah.
But after I watched it, I was like, I will never get to experience that for the first time ever again, and that makes me incredibly sad, but also incredibly grateful that I got to see it in theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what if I missed it and I would have like streamed it? It would have been great to watch it at home, but like getting to see it with my friends and like getting to see their experience of my experience because they had already
Yes.
read the book.
Yes.
Like they were just laughing at me the whole time, but it also made it even better because it was just like they got to see me experience what they experienced when they read the book. And so it was like we had this shared connection of like, I know what you're feeling right now. And I felt that when I read the book. And I'm like, yeah, I felt it when I saw it because that's how I take in art. And so it's just really cool. And to have those moments, and that's how we change, like that's how we get
Yeah.
inspired. And like after I saw that movie I was like, I just want to make all the movies because that was amazing.
Yeah. I feel that
Like,
way like a lot. Like when I experience art and I'm just like, oh my God, now I'm inspired to do XYZ. Like
Yes.
when I took
yeah.
Bill to the symphony for his birthday, I was like, I want to go do theater. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I want
Yeah.
to get back into theater. Like even if I'm just like on the stage, not even having a line, like just be there and
Just
be
be
like
there.
Yeah.
helping create this experience for people. And you know what I love? And maybe it's just me. I love it when you're in the theater, right? Like whether it's a play or a movie, right? That, you know, whichever kind of theater. And or even like when we were watching the symphony, it's just like being in this room with all these people and you're reacting together. And
Yeah.
I personally love it when like the audience makes noise, right? Like I
Yes.
don't like it
Yes.
when
I
people
love
are
that.
talking and distracting talking, but if you're talking back to the movie and it's appropriate, like I love that shit. You know,
Me
like
too.
I'll be
Right.
When
like,
everyone
bitch,
was
what
like,
are you doing in
oh,
It's
there?
so
You know?
good. That sounds oh my God, I love that.
I
Right? Like,
love
don't
that.
I don't
open the
even know
fucking
what the
door.
word for that is.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah. And oh my gosh. Like, okay, I don't know if y'all have ever seen it's one of my favorite horror movies. I've seen it once. I did see it at home on TV, like on the old fashioned Netflix discs, and I will never watch it again because it fucking disturbed the shit out of me, but it was so good. It's a Japanese movie. It's called Audition.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
I
classic.
was like, I know Veronica knows it.
I
And it's like,
saw
yeah,
that one. Oh God, I saw that in Japan too. That was the worst
It's
part of the
fucked up.
movie.
oh, it's so fucked up. Okay,
Yeah.
everybody, if you're
Weird.
into horror and especially just like fucked up shit, like watch it
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
I will
All
never watch it
Japanese horror.
again. It
They got
fucked me.
weird horror. Like, God
It was
damn.
weird and it like fucked with my brain so bad. Like there were, and I was just like, why are you fucking doing this to me? Because there were parts, I don't want to like spoil it, but there were definitely parts where you're like, oh, thank God. And then you're like, oh no. You're like, fucking thank God that's over. And then you're like, oh no, something worse just happened, you know? And it just fucked with me so bad. So that's why I'll never watch it again.
Yeah.
But it's so good. Like, you know,
The
and
classic. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish I had seen it with other people in the theater. You know what I mean? Like, because
It's
it was
so fun hearing the reactions of people.
Mhm.
It can just, if you
Yeah.
have a thought and you're like, oh, maybe it's just me, and then someone says something, you're like, yeah, that's right.
Right? You're like, yeah, that's my man. And you know, like,
I
I
remember it was
remember.
my mom and I went to see, I think my mom and my sister, maybe we went to see Dance With Me with
Mm.
Vanessa Williams and Cheyenne. And there's a scene where he like takes off his shirt. And I was still kind of young and I was with my mom, you know? So I
right.
was just like, oh my gosh. And this lady goes, oh, Cheyenne. And I was,
That's awesome. I see it. I love that shit. It's so
yeah,
good.
I
It's
need to be
so
that lady when I
fun.
get older.
I will tell you right now, like filmmakers love when audiences react to films. Like the worst thing that could happen is like a silent audience because you're just like, I guess nobody liked it. But like
Right?
hearing laughs, hearing, hearing, like
yeah,
all of that we love. I remember watching Sinners in one part, and I mean, I was like, it was one of the emotional parts, and I was just
yeah.
like, and I was like trying not to like be loud, and she looked back, she goes, and I was just like, thank you, like, it's like it was
Right?
that like exchange of like,
Mhm.
honey, it's
Like
okay.
you made it okay for me to like
Mhm.
feel the feelings and express
Yeah.
them. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think like that's kind of what the catalyst is all about. It's like
Mhm.
it's almost like making this space like, hey, I'm fucking around over here. Like, what are you fucking around with
Exactly.
over there? Like, that's cool. Or that's not for me, but go on with yourself. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I love
The
that. Like,
permission.
yeah,
Yep.
that energy of just like hey, we're all fucking fooling around together, right? Like, or whatever, and like, let's just be like, like this person that's starting an ecstatic dance, in Camas, Washington. Like, I mean, she's been doing it for a while now, but like, it's kind of new still, and she's like, yeah, just come be weirdos with us, and I'm like, I love this, like, like you're already putting it out there, like we're just gonna be fucking weird and moving around and shit, and I'm like, yes, I love this. Because that is what we need more of. Like, I don't know if it's just like my Sagittarius moon or whatever, but like, God, I started running again and I had to get out of the house on Saturday and I was like, I'm going to drive to a park. Like, I'm lucky. Like, I have a lot of cool places to go near me. And I'm like, what park am I going to go to? And then I brought my kid along. I say my kid, he's a teenager. He's almost 18. And I'm like, I'm gonna run, but like you can come. And I'm not gonna expect you to run with me. Like just do your thing if that's cool. But like I want to run, like that's what I'm going for. So if you're okay with me like leaving you all behind and running, but at the same time it was like my ass was like, I need to go somewhere different.
Mm,
Like I do not want to
yeah.
run around my neighborhood. I do not want to run at the gym on the treadmill. I do not want to run on the
Mhm.
same like park that's up the street from my house. Like I want to get in my car. I mean, maybe this is weird to people, but like, it is what it is. Like I want to get in my car and drive for 20 minutes and go like a little bit more rural out to this park that I like that has this nice like path that I can run on safely,
Mhm.
and like that's where I want to go. So I have this change of scenery. And I think like we really, really, as human beings, like need that because especially those of us who are like locked into our jobs, and like, I mean, I work from home. So it's like, and I love and hate it because I love going out to the office, but I can't function in the office,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Agreed.
because my ass will talk to everybody or like my
Mhm.
ass will worry that I can't talk to anybody but I want to talk to people and then I'm like masking and I'm like wanting to cry all day because I'm making noise like opening a bag of chips and eating because I'm stress eating because I want to go talk to people and I'm not allowed to talk to people, right? Like, you know and I can't fucking focus.
Yes.
So you
Mhm.
know um but that being said, it's like I also like am not doing well. Like I'm doing well at work, which is what matters to them, but like I'm not doing well like sitting in my office 4 days a week for 10 hours a day and like getting up for an hour in the middle of that. I mean, I do kind of get up and wander around the house and come back, right? But it's at the like I'm not getting out, right? And then like there are days when I'm like, I have not like walked outside my fucking door in days. Like what the
Mm.
fuck? You're right. Like so I kind of I use like that little Finch app, with the little bird. And it's like it gamifies like self-care goals kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
it's really
cute.
cute. It's super cute. And but one of my goals that I actually like buddied up with my friend who's on the app too, I'm like, because she has the same problem because we do the same job. And I'm like, let's make a goal that we leave our house once a day for some. I mean, even if we just
mm,
like walk into our front yard and experience the sunshine for a little bit, or whatever, or the rain or whatever's happening, because we can get so locked into like our little routines. And even if you're going to an office, it's like you go to your office, you commute, you go to the office, you work, you have your lunch at the same place, or you have your, brown bag in the lunchroom, and you get back into work, and then you go commute home, and then you do your thing at home, and then you go to bed, and ad nauseum. And then on the
mm.
weekends, it's like, then what do you do? Like, are you doing something crazy fun, like to get out of the house? Or are you like, oh, well, I've locked into like doing laundry, and I always do my laundry on Saturday, and then I do, my food prep on Sunday. And it's like, and I don't get out of that routine. I mean, routines are awesome. I need them as the ADHD ass. But like, at the same time, it's like, am I making time to get out of that routine?
Mhm.
Doing something different? Am I making time to see some different scenery? Am I making time to go say hello to my friends in the park that I haven't seen for a couple of years because I haven't been to that park in a couple of years, right? Like, and by my friends, I mean like, oh, hello, moss, hello, wild roses, hello, I don't know, bullfrogs, whatever, like, and it's like, because everybody, I even like said this to my friend who like seriously has known me for a long time. Like she's almost like we call each other sisters, because we're really close and stuff. And I was kind of telling her about this experience going back to this park I haven't been to in a while and like saying hello to all my friends as they're waking up in the spring, and
Mhm.
like but also seeing like the stuff that's kind of still carrying over from winter, right? Like all the decaying leaves and things like that. And I'm like, hello, friends. And like they often tease me at work because I usually will say that to people at work, like, oh, hi, friend. Or like when I see dogs, I'm like, oh, hello, friend, you know? And I was like, I should just write a book. Like that's my whole life philosophy. Like, hello, friend.
Hello,
Like,
friend.
right, everybody
Mhm.
is my friend.
Yeah.
Everything
Want
is
to
my
play
friend.
drum?
Right, like I have a drum.
It's in my back pocket. Here you go.
Right, yeah, exactly. Whoosh. Yeah, it's in my magic bag of tricks, like Felix the cat, right? Like, or Mary Poppins, right? Like, I mean, I just feel like why I wish more people would like just be open to the world in that way. And like, don't get me wrong, there are days when I'm like, I can't leave my house. I have agoraphobia, like it's diagnosed, right? And like there are good days and bad days, and there are days when I do want to go out and like open myself to like everything in the world and experience them as my friends and that reciprocity, right? And it's like, and when I go out there, like I reach out and they reach back, right?
Mhm.
Because I have a relationship with
Yeah.
them, and even in my yard, and even, but there are days when I can't even go into my yard, right? So I'm not trying to be like ableist and say like, oh, everybody needs to do this all the time and you need to be
Yeah.
open all the time. And yet, there's something wrong with you if you can't be, because it is just like, and sometimes it's not safe to, right?
Hmm.
Frankly. But like, if you can allow yourself some time, at least once a week, like if you have to put it on your fucking calendar, like go outside and make a friend,
Hmm.
like somehow, like whether you compliment somebody in the line at the grocery store,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like touch
Yeah.
the bark of a tree.
Yeah.
I think that you bring a good point too, and like you're saying, um, it really doesn't matter what it is, whether, if you are able-bodied to dance or you cannot, or to sing or to watch something and sit down and go to theater or whatever. I think it all kind of comes down to, and like the catalyst or the magic form is the permission. Like we were saying earlier, it's the
Mhm.
allowing this thing to spark and create and ignite, and being okay with whatever it is, to just allow yourself to do it, even if it's something small.
Chemistry, right? Again, back to
So
Yeah.
chemistry. Like,
crazy. I
what kind of a reaction is going to happen? What am I going to get out of this?
Hmm.
You guys are really like bringing into perspective for me like this whole conversation, because when I think of Aries, I'm like individual, right?
Mm,
But like our conversation has switched from individual to also collective, like
Hmm.
how those sort of reflects. And I think of like the sister signs of Aries and Libra, which is like the other, and being
yeah.
in relation with each other. And so
Mm,
it's like we are the catalyst, we are the leader in whatever aspect, creativity, magic, whatever that may be, healing, and we get to be the change that others see. And in those
Yeah.
people, we see ourselves
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
it is reflected back to us the growth that we've done, and we get to heal and grow together. And it's
Yeah.
really cool to see that, how it's like that's what the catalyst, it goes back to science, right? Like there's like one molecule that's like, no, I'm going to do my own thing, and then like it kind of
and it makes this chain reaction and creates
chain
this.
reaction.
Yeah. I love that. It's like that's the magic of it because I remember there was a study a while back. I can't even remember where. I'm so sorry I can't cite it, but it was really interesting because it's kind of like the mob mentality kind of thing where if no one does anything, it just stays the standard status
Mhm.
quo. And it takes the one person, the initiator, little Mr. or Mrs. Aries, like doing their thing.
Mhm.
And then there'll be the few people that are brave enough to follow the first person who's taking the risk.
Mhm.
Once those few first people go follow that leader type or that risk taker, that's when, and then there's enough of these people, that's when everyone, because then it's kind of like a scale almost, like once like the crazy weird thing has enough people doing it, it kind of tips it over and then everyone goes over.
Hmm.
So, and you see this in trends in fashion. And I just think it's also like you can use this in magic too, right? Like
Mhm.
I feel like magic can work like that. It can like tip the scales, like trying to normalize. And I feel like in a way, giving permission is kind of like magic in a way. For me, I see it that way because
Mhm.
it's being free and trying to have like create situations where you can build a community of people, even if it's a few friends, to come do this free thing with you. More and more people hear about it and they'll feel like they can do it too. Like this thing I used to do at my house, like it was once a month and we called it the tea party. And it was, we would have people bring like their own art, whatever they wanted. Sometimes it was just like stick figures, and then we would put it up on the walls
I
around my
love
house.
that.
And then we had friends who had instruments, and they would be
Yep.
people playing music, and it would be like
Mhm.
open mic and poetry, art around the walls. Some people took it serious, some didn't. And we were literally drinking wine out of teacups, like
That's
those
so
those
Yeah.
like
cool.
those thrifted teacups.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was just such a good time, and it would always end up like we're all just like dancing, just
Yeah.
dancing and singing terribly, and there's art everywhere, and it's just such a good time. And I remember it started off it was just me and a few people, but then people would invite, and then it just was too many people in my house. Like
Right.
Yeah.
and
Like I love
I
y'all,
don't
but
know,
you
that
gotta go.
yeah, that was back in my art school days, but I was like, gosh, I got to start doing that kind of thing again. Like
Creating the
maybe
space.
a
Yes.
cafe or something, and
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mhm.
like open mic, but people can bring art too or something. I don't know. It's like it's sharing. Open mics are the best. Like I
Yeah,
love when
I
people
love
read their
them.
poems or their short
Mhm.
stories. Like, oh my gosh, like some of the best work I've heard is those open mics, you
Yeah.
know? And I
There's a
think,
oh, go
yeah.
ahead. I'm sorry. I was gonna
No,
cut you off.
no, I think I was just gonna say, like, I think that's such like that kind of that's like influence, right?
Mhm.
It's
Yes.
kind of in a way like that's why I think of it as magic. It's influence. It's
Mhm.
just showing people it's safe and it's okay and inviting people over. And I think that can apply to witchcraft too. Like invite people to come and experience stuff with you
Yeah.
and show them that it's
Yeah.
like, you know, it's safe. Or like especially people that are new to the craft, I really think there needs to be more like, I don't know, mentorship's the right word, but needs to be
Less
more like,
gatekeeping.
yeah, like make it safe
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
comfortable and like full
Sure.
energy. Let's just
There
figure
needs
this
to be
out.
like the
And yeah,
kind of mentors that like give you like the space to fuck up, but like keep it
Mhm.
safe for you. You know what
yeah,
Right.
I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
like
We're
can it
not trying
give
to
you
compete with you
yeah,
or
yeah.
to just
feel
give you like
threatened by you.
guardrails or like parameters or
And be
suggestions,
cheerleaders for
but
them,
be
Cheerleaders.
cheerleaders, raise you
Yes.
up,
right? Like,
encourage you, yeah,
Yeah.
empower
yeah.
Yes.
you to do the wrong thing.
Be
I
the
mean,
bad
seriously,
influence that you need.
I mean, you do because you need to know why it's wrong.
Why it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you hear, I mean, especially I hate to shit on witch talk all the time because there are some really good people and
There's
things
some
that
good
came
people.
out of it, right? But like, I just feel like there's so much of this, like, you can't do this. It's so dangerous and scary and
Yeah.
awful. And it's like, where's the basis of that? What's really
Yeah.
going to happen? Like,
Just becomes
Mhm.
dogmatic.
yeah, and it becomes
Yeah.
dogmatic, and people are afraid to do anything. Oh, Hecate is gonna punish you. It's like Hecate is not Yahweh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Like, you know. Yeah, I realize the irony of saying Jesus fucking Christ after saying Hecate is not Yahweh, but that's just how I roll. Um, but yeah, and I just think like the thing, and I think it was Aiden Wachter who said it. I think I read it in Changeling, where it was like part of like doing effective magic is seeing like, and I'm totally paraphrasing here. I'm totally making up the words, but the idea is his that like sparked this in me, that catalyzed it. But like the idea that you can't really be like your magic has to be like believable to you
Yeah.
to be effective, and a catalyze like this catalyzing influence that we have, like to be like, hey, fuck around and find out, hey, like I made this mistake, you know, like now you don't have to, or you know, like, or just like, hey, well, have you thought of this, or what if you tried that, like
Yeah.
opens that door of possibility for people, like, hey,
Hmm.
you can come to my art party, just bring some stick figures. And I was going to
Yeah.
say that too, like it not only just like, you know, like Julia, you were saying like go experience art, but I'm like also make art. Like if all you have is like you go to the dollar store and you buy like a little pack of crayons and like their shitty like, you know, kid drawing pad, like just
Hmm.
start scribbling and see what the fuck happens, right? Like
Oh
play
yeah.
around.
I'm all
Yeah.
for
And
that.
like Yeah, no, you can throw it in the trash afterwards if you want to. Like, but like just allow yourself the freedom to like do,
Explore.
Mm-hmm.
because it could turn
Explore.
out to be really fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know, like Ryan Coogler, who is now an Oscar winner, used to be a football player, and his teacher told him in college, "Hey, I think you should be your director," because she read one of his assignments that he turned in, and he said he never thought about it, and now he's a fucking Oscar winner for best director for Sinners. Like he wrote Sinners, like.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And it was just because somebody believed in him and read the work and was like, this is really good. Like, I don't
Right.
know if this is ever something that you'd be interested in, but that she was the catalyst for him of like, oh, this could be something I'm curious. What would this be like? And here we are today. We would not
Right.
have
Like your writing
Sinners.
is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like you don't have to go down the football path. Like you can go down
Yeah, like, you can explore something else, or you can do both, or you like, just letting yourself be curious, be that full energy to be the beginner. Don't
Mm.
judge yourself. And if other people are judging you, well, then fuck them because they're not in the center stage putting themselves
because
out
they're
there.
scared to do it themselves.
Exactly.
Really is what it comes down to. Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you have the courage, like Aries, to take up space or to create the space, then there are going to be people out there who are like, wow, I'm really inspired by this person. And then it can be alarming, like that reaction back to you, where you're like being reflected back and you're like, oh, this actually did something. Like sometimes, like, yeah, when people say they've seen my short film, I'm like, oh, like people are actually going to see it. Or this podcast, like people actually
Yeah.
watching the
Right. They're gonna
podcast.
like
People
react in
watch
the
this?
comments. What if they say something mean? I'm gonna
So
go
it's like
cry.
it is uncomfortable, but then at the same time, it's like, what if I kept going? Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And that
If
is
someone, yeah. If
so
someone
bad.
watched us and gave us bad comments, I'd be like, thanks for watching 2 hours
Yeah,
of
Lo,
us.
thank
Like,
you.
seriously,
Thanks for sticking with our movie
we
length
appreciate
podcast.
it.
And they comment on like every video. This one sucked even worse. Thank you for watching it again.
Right? Yeah. Thanks for investing the time. I know,
Yeah.
like I have an acquaintance and I think she is very cool and has a lot of very good insights, even if I don't always agree with her, right? And like she occasionally writes things on Substack. And I was like, I love reading your Substack. And she's like, I just feel like, oh, like what do I bring to the table? Like, why am I even doing this? Like, what am I saying that other people aren't saying? Like, why, is my voice really that different? And I was like, yes. Like that's
It
why I
is.
said, like we were driving somewhere, like I was driving her like we were on a like an hour-long trip or something, hour and a half trip maybe even. And I was just like, yes,
Yeah.
you do, yes you can, yes you are,
Yeah.
like yes,
You're the
me
only
too.
you.
You're the only
Yeah.
you that exists that could
If
never
I'm the only
write.
person that reads your fucking Substack, yeah, please continue. Like
If you can inspire one person, that's like incredible. I think that's a huge accomplishment. And I know that most artists would be like, like I have all these big dreams and goals, but I don't know. I try it. It's humbling in a way, and I appreciate it because even if it is just one person, it's like at the end of the day, what were they saying the other day? It was like um if you only have like 20 likes on a piece of art, right? Social media would say that that's a failure. But if you think about that 20 people in your house, that's a lot of people in your
Mhm.
house. So that is a
Yeah.
lot of likes. That like if you have to think of it in like terms of like being in person, like if 20 people showed up to your event, that's to me a success rather than, you know what I mean? Like 100 people would be great, but 20 people is still a lot. And so if 20 people only see your film, that's still a lot of bodies that came to experience your
Mhm.
art form. So
Yeah.
it's trying to change your perspective. And even if
Yeah.
it is one person, that still matters and that still makes a difference in the world because it's still
Yeah.
energy. We're still having a chain reaction.
Mhm.
There's still a molecule that is creating the catalyst to change. And if it is one friend, they can create even an even bigger change, like
Mhm.
it's all energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
something
Even if
new
it's
in the
just
world that
you.
wasn't there before.
Yeah. I was
Exactly.
just going to say that, like, even if you're the only one who ever sees it, because no one can, whatever, you changed
You
yourself.
changed yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to impact people around you. Like you're going to be out in the world. And I mean, it's not everyone's intent to impact people around them, but
No.
I like to think, like for me personally, in the world of witchcraft, I hope I do.
Hmm. I think our
Because,
podcast is a catalyst.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're all silent now.
Like you said, like the people who are just like, yeah, I watched your podcast. I didn't know you did a podcast. I immediately went and checked it out and I sat there for 2 hours and I loved it. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm just like,
These are
whoa.
rituals.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
And
come sit with us, have tea.
yeah, come sit with us and have tea. But it's so important to remember to lean into the catalyst in your witchcraft so that you can shake things up because it's very easy to fall into dogmatic practices or follow someone who teaches dogmatic ways and brainwashes you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's always infiltration of some sort into whatever is doing well at the time to convince people to do things. Capitalism, I'm just going to say, it's always there.
True.
It's always there.
Yeah.
So we just got to stay firm in your craft. And, you know, I just feel like,
Brutalizing a new subject for me. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, yeah, no, I want to hear it now. I want
Yeah,
to
me
hear
too.
it.
So like one thing that actually even before we started recording, we were just kind of like, riffing before we started recording. Like one thing that kept coming to my mind, even though like you were saying, you even hit on this, Veronica, where you were like, Aries, the individual, that just storms out ahead, is the vanguard or whatever. But it's like, but then it becomes like this collective energy. Like I was just thinking about how like with the rise of fascism, like there has been like this kind of and late stage capitalism crumbling, like there's been like this counter movement to like collectives and collective care, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of like how do witches retain like their individuality, which is so important to us, right? And our ability to self-determine what we do in our practices and how we live, but also create this space of care for each other and out in the
Mm,
world.
Yeah.
Because that has been one thing like that I like, not even growing up religious, like again, generations of my people have not been church people, right? Like I just don't have that in my like culture, my microculture of my family. But like having gone to church with other people that I know growing up or like experiencing, the charity of churches, it's like that is one thing I do wish like witches were a little bit better at. Like how do we create these, how do we retain our individuality but also like create something, and then with like the American tax system being what it is or whatever, it's like how do you like then solicit like donations or whatever because people want like that like self-assured like you're a legitimate charity and then my money is actually going to what it's supposed to go to, instead of like having this trust of like I'm going to show up with a pot of beans for you
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be safe for you to eat and it's going to be prepared with love and care and you're going to be able to feed your family, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, right? And like there are organizations in Portland that do this to varying degrees of success and longevity, right? And some of them are like formally incorporated and some of them are just like groups of people who are like anarchists, right? That are like, I'm going to feed people under the bridge. But at the same time, it's like, how do we as witches like create those systems like within our culture, right? Like within, like, how do we have these like, who's going to go sit with somebody at the hospital? Who's going to bring the casseroles to the people who just had a death? Who are, or whatever it is, right? Who's going to be like the priest for them,
Yeah.
right? Like as they're dying. Like, I mean, in Nishida, you're doing your death doula work, which is awesome. Like, and you're providing that service, but it's like, how do, like, but like, unfortunately, again, believe people need to be compensated fairly for their labor. I mean, I am a labor
Yeah.
activist, that is like foundational, but also like in late stage capitalism, how do we kind of rethink what that means,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
And how do we decommodify care,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and how do we do this for each other? Because I think back to like, I mean, even in like Appalachian culture, like the laying out of the body was done by the family, like the sitting with the body was, I mean, and maybe you eventually took it to a funeral home, right? and like did the things there and did the burial at the cemetery or whatever, but like so much hands-on stuff was done by family and community, and like we just really don't have those structures anymore, you
Mhm.
know, for varying reasons. And I'm totally going like in a different direction, but you know, catalyst, whatever, it is what it is. But and maybe this is me like looking forward to tourist season. But you know, like it just is something that makes me think like what are the possibilities here, and it is really hard to think outside of those boxes. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
afraid to just give my neighbors a pot of beans because what if they get sick from it, you know,
Mhm.
or what if they find a cat hair in it, or you know what I mean, like,
Yeah.
and then they're like that's disgusting, you know, whatever. Anyway, and like how do we get away from that instead of, you know, and even like what I do for people, like when I house sit their dogs, it's like they pay me, right? Like I go, like I don't know these people, like they find me through a freaking, you know, app, like, and I go sit their house, and it's like I'd like to think like I care for them and their pets, you know, and I
Mhm.
do, right, to a certain degree, but it's like also a transactional thing going back to that,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I think
Right.
it's just like it's energy, right? Like you're
Mhm.
using energy and getting compensated with like it's all like energy exchange, right? It's just represented in like money format.
Right.
And like I don't think there's anything wrong. Like that's part of reciprocity. I just think the way it's done now is
Mm-hmm.
problematic because it's like
Exactly. Yeah.
extractionism and oppression and like purposeful, you know, like extortion of people and like making them work more and more and more and they can barely
Mm-hmm.
afford
And
anything and while
underpaying
these other
them, and
meanwhile
yeah.
someone else is not paying taxes and they're hoarding all the money. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
a problem,
Mhm.
right? Like there's a way to have economies that are healthy, like circular economies or gift economies. Like there's, and we're just not there yet. It's a
Yeah.
process. And I think one thing I really love about witch community and any community in general, but what I love about witch community in particular is it's like we can form our little groups and take care of each other in the way we
Mm-hmm.
can, right? And I have been seeing that lately. Like, yeah, you know, there's some people where they're like, okay, um, you can do a Patreon and this level, this level, this level, and that
Mm-hmm.
helps support them because,
Right.
you know, for them to do the research and have the conversation, that's time.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, if you want to put food on the table and be able to do that, like that's pretty damn hard. Like
Right.
working and then doing
That's a
all that.
lot
Like
of
they're
work.
gonna have to ask for something because that's just the
Right.
way our life works right now.
Right.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I
Mm-hmm.
think the important thing is it's just how we go about it. Like, you know, let's do away with gatekeeping. You
Mhm.
know, let's do away with like you're bad, you're good.
Yeah.
Witchcraft is about love and light or dark and hate, whatever fuck,
Mhm.
I don't know how it is.
Right. Yeah.
Um, like
Exactly.
whatever. I'm
However
just
you
like
want to phrase
it's
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even see energy as good and bad. I don't
Mhm.
Right.
think it's how it impacts us. We determine how we feel about it, whether we think it's good for us or bad, right?
Mhm.
And it's just like having, you know, just like money. Money is not good or bad. It's just what
Right.
you do with it, just like
Right.
magic. So it's
Right.
just considering the people around you. And of course, someone's being a piece of shit. They
Right.
deserve to get kicked in the ass with some magic. Like, of course,
Right.
like you have to defend yourself, but at the same time, it's just like, how can you create structures? And right now, I think, like, I'm going off on a tangent a little bit. I'll hurry up. Is I think we're in a world where we're ultra connected through the interwebs,
Mm-hmm.
but ultra individualized at the same time. Like
Right.
you
Mhm.
think about our childhoods, like we're kind of born, like some of us born before technology really took off and some of us
Mm-hmm.
during. But um our time it was like, oh, this toy came out, everyone fucking had that toy and there was
Mm-hmm.
only two colorways,
Mhm.
or
Right.
you know, everyone had the same three channels or the same
Mm-hmm.
couches and dinnerware and tableware. There
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that much variety unless maybe you came from another country that had a different variety. Like
Mm-hmm.
other than that, like we pretty much all had the same shit. We grew up
Mm-hmm.
with that. And I was talking to my husband the other day, I'm like, do you know what I miss is like going to school or work and being like, did you see that Simpsons episode? And everyone
Mm-hmm.
knew because
Right.
Yeah.
everyone watched it because
Right.
that was the
Yeah.
main thing
Because you
happening
watched
that
it in
night.
real
The
Yeah.
time.
collective
And there's no
thing.
reruns
Mm-hmm.
till like months later. So if you missed it, oh, you have to wait. And I think there was something so powerful about that, because I was like, isn't it crazy that like there was hundreds and like millions of people all consuming the same thing at the same time and then sharing in that experience? Like that's so fucking beautiful. And if there's something I want to bring forward, spark that fire, is bringing that back in a way that works for our current times. We can't go back. We can't.
Yeah.
There's no way. That's just the like, and you have to like, there is part of me that grieves
Mhm.
for my childhood. I have a lot of things that I grieve that my kids won't experience. And it breaks my heart that they can't
Yeah.
have what I had.
Absolutely.
But I just know that I want to make it better for my kids and the kids after that and the future people after that. And like not just the people, but the plants and the animals. Like,
Right.
so like how can we
The
how can we
non-human people is how I think of them.
yeah, the non-human people, like, how can we work and make our own, our own communities and support each other and have more of like disconnection from being just an individual and more connection and being part of the great thing, like part of the universe, we're all connected,
Yeah, part of the web,
and like, yeah,
the actual web, not the World Wide Web.
this is why I love the
Yeah.
Orphic hymn lately, because it's really bringing me back to that concept. Like, orphan, it was, how do you say it? Was it Orphism?
Orphism, yeah.
Yeah. And I just love the idea of like dissolving the barriers and just becoming one. And there's something so fucking profound about that. Like
That's
when
why
you
I
think
love
about it,
ecstatic shamanic witchcraft, baby.
yeah, like, oh,
That's why
it's
it's my
so
vibe.
beautiful.
Blend those lines.
Yeah. So like, hey, if you go dancing together, like that's part of it, or just experiencing something like watching a movie together and laughing, having that movie night at your house, playing a board game. Like I know it sounds so mundane and whatever, but I think it's beyond the mundane. Like
I
nothing
miss
really is
like card
mundane.
nights, Like
Yeah.
my family had card nights. I never really learned how to play a lot of the games that they did. Like I could never grasp pinochle, like, but like just like that was such a part of like the collective community, like playing
Yeah.
cards or playing dominoes or whatever your culture's game was, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of like, a way that a witch can help, right? We all have our own individual practices, but I also feel like I have a lot of friends that aren't witches. So I think, one of the things that I try to do is to include them in my practice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, hey, you want to come over and do like a burn ritual? And like, because one of my friends was going through a lot at this one time. And so I was like, come over and do a burn ritual. And like, I like walked them through it. And they said that they felt so good afterwards. And it's like, we can utilize the things that we do in our individual practices for people who maybe aren't even a part of this community to help them in some way, like to offer healing. Like I do Reiki for friends and they have no idea what the fuck it is. Like I've tried explaining it to them so many times and they're just like, I don't know, just do it. Like,
I do Reiki for shelter dogs.
Yeah.
Like,
And so I think it's like making the things accessible and sharing it with people that aren't even a part of the community.
Yeah.
And
because it's
I also
not a
think of like,
belief system necessarily, right?
exactly,
Like you don't have
like,
to be like, I believe in Hecate and I worship, Hecate.
Right.
And that's why I'm a witch or whatever. It's like you can be a witch and just be like, or just do these practices without even naming yourself a witch.
Exactly. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm having a lot of bad luck right now. Okay, let me help you with that.
Right.
Like, and that's not to say that I can't sell those services or like market myself in that way. That's a different situation. But if it's a friend and I'm like, yeah, like come over and I'll do a limpia on you. Like, I've been noticing you've had a lot of chaotic energy going around. Let me help you. And or creating a space, right? Because I feel like spaces, we talked a lot about spaces today, creating the space for accessibility. And one thing that I'm always like kind of on the lookout for, and this is something that we were talking about before we started recording, was just like creating spaces for more culture and diversity. And that looks different for everything, right? Like it could be art, it could be music, it could be dance, but like how can you be the leader to say, hey, I don't see enough of myself represented. Can I be that change to create what I want to see? Like like Michael Jackson says, like you need to look into the mirror and be the change you want to see. Like,
Yeah.
The man in the mirror.
Yeah, I always just think about that. There's so much wisdom to that song because it's like, oh, I don't see this. It doesn't mean that the people in the space are bad or no good. That doesn't always the case, but for the most part, we can assume that most people mean well. But what if you just kind of like opened that door of like, hey, like I noticed this. Could I be the leader of this?
Mm-hmm.
Could I make this accessible for other people? And like then you kind of open that doorway for potential change to come about. So I just think it's like noticing too, like when something isn't not in balance, but when something isn't in harmony.
Mm.
Yeah.
We need biodiversity in our gardens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like I would like to challenge other white people or white presenting people to like be aware of that as well. Because
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of had
Yeah.
that realization when we were talking in my federal unionist network group. We had this meeting with like somebody who was talking with us about like some different possibilities for our group that we could do like for outreach or whatever. And like one of the things that she had mentioned was like some work she had done with people who were employees of the Bureau of Indian Affairs. And I was like, holy fuck, how do we not have any BIA people in our federal unionist group? And I like kind of said that and I was like, we are mostly white people here. Like, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the demographic of Portland, but like we have a huge BIA presence, right? And I'm like, I mean, we have a field office in Portland. We have, I mean, and I was just like, how have we not fucking reached out to these people? And I know sometimes it's just a matter of like not knowing people, but that's also like, how do you use your privilege to like make those spaces, right? And how do you say, holy shit, like we are missing diversity. We are missing some voices at this table that need to be here.
Mhm.
Like how do
Yeah.
we make this happen? Who knows whom? And how do I, or, can I just figure out when their union meetings are and ask if I can come and speak to them, or whatever. Like, and that's such an important piece. I'm so glad that you brought that up because like we speaking from the white delegation like I don't really feel like it's fair to always put it on the people of color to like make a space for themselves,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? And I hate like doing the like you were saying earlier, Julia, like to say them, right? Like you
I
guys,
hate doing that so
because
much.
I mean, like, yeah, you guys are always welcome at my, raisin free potato salad function. like, I'm like, speaking as a white person, I would like to question the validity of this raisins and potato salad movement. Anyways, sorry.
I like
But
potato
like,
salad.
Me too.
I think it's
And
good.
raisins.
I like raisins and broccoli salad, but not potato salad.
Huh.
But yeah, we had this is funny because even in my union, like in the work that we do, like in the women's and fair practices department, like we have our contingency groups for like, like we have a black contingency group, we have a Hispanic contingency group, we have, I'm the gay, I'm the gays, like,
The gays.
and they came, the potato salad with raisins thing came up and I was like, what, who does that? And like the
What do you mean
guy
they
who
put the raisins in the potato salad?
Yes, they put him in
Oh,
the potato salad, right? And so like the guy who was
okay.
chair of the black group at the time was like, "You do," and I was like, "I don't." I was like, "Who does this?" And they were like, "No, that's a white people thing." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "I would like to apologize on behalf of
On
all the white
behalf
people
of the whole.
like, for doing this atrocity." But anyway, where was I going with this? But oh yes, we need to make room for people too, right? Like we need
Mhm.
to, and not just like casually, like, well, there's a space here if you want it, but like we need to actually be like, we want you here,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and make that kind of space, not like the, well, if you show up, it's cool, but like, no, I want you to come, please come. Like we need to
Yeah.
hear from you. We need your perspective. We need whatever, like we need to learn from each other, right?
Mhm.
Like because that's part of
Especially when
all
it
of
comes to
this.
like spiritual practices and
Hmm.
witchcraft, because like then we can really help each other,
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
fight the fucking fascism in our own way.
And like one of the things that blew my mind was I was reading something, I don't even remember who it was, and I wish I could. It was, I think, on either Blue Sky or Threads, and it was a black person's account, black woman's account, and she said something about like, you know, white Americans, like you have your own indigenous practices, like figure them out. Like, yes, we lost a lot of them because a lot of them were like, you know, oral and not written down except for through the lens of Christianity. But that happened with everybody also,
Mhm.
right? So we are all kind of recreating them.
Mhm.
But yeah, just like, and then when I started working with Rhonda McCrimmon, you know, and like studying her Celtic shamanism, and she's Scottish, and you know, and how she would talk about like our indigenous practices, and I'm like, yes, okay, I get this. Like, yes, the Celts were indigenous, right? Like, and
I
and
forget
whoever
about
was
that all
there,
the time. I'm like, oh
right?
yeah,
And the
like that's the
Picts were
majority of my
indigenous, and whoever was
bloodline.
there before them was indigenous, right? Like, you
Yeah.
know, and it's just to rethink what it means to be indigenous to a place, right? Like we are not indigenous
Exactly.
to North America, but we are indigenous to somewhere.
Mhm.
And like
Living
where
with
Yep.
the
are we?
land and having those ancestors, connecting with the ancestors who lived off the land. Everyone has
Mhm.
them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Very
Sometimes it's like you're the catalyst in your family that connects you back to those ancestors. Because I think,
Mm.
I know for me personally, I have some family members that try to, is very on the assimilated side and don't acknowledge the indigenous part. So I'm the catalyst in my family of saying, well, I acknowledge it and I'm proud of it and I accept it and I'm going to fucking continue this tradition. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Getting into
you
this.
know?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Break the chain at some point, literally be the catalyst and do the thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. I just love how we were going from the Fool and the Catalyst and Aries energy, you know, sacred passion and creativity. And I just love how at the end of the day, it does tie in to connection with each other. Like
Mhm.
it's so strong. Like you think about it. I mean, that is probably one of our biggest issues that we have in the world right now is people are creating, but it's kind of like it's either creating for survival or creating to be recognized or
Exploitation.
validated or and I'm
Mhm.
not saying this for everyone, okay? I'm just saying
Right.
like in our current
Society.
society that we live in as the podcasters here.
Yeah.
But I just feel like there isn't enough, you know, creating to share and witness and be a part of a group. And I'm sure there is a lot of people doing it, but it just majority wise, like we're more on the other side, the
Mhm.
dystopian side than the other. And I just, I really hope that, you know, we can all be a catalyst for that change and making like sacred creativity and sacred passion and sacred sensuality, make it all just normalized and
Mhm.
Yeah.
more comfortable for people. Like, and it's not going to happen overnight,
Mhm.
but it's like the slow, like just making people feel safe and comfortable and like this, you know, getting like getting out of indoctrination is so hard.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
so hard, even for myself. I think the reason why I went into witchcraft when I was very young was because nothing felt right. Indoctrination didn't feel right to me. And so with witchcraft, but back then, by the way, there was like not much that you can find on it, like all the gardener
Yeah.
books and stuff. And even that felt very kind of like religious in a way, you know? Not all of it, but a lot of it felt very indoctrination and like gatekeepy. And it just doesn't rub me well. Like I'm not good with that shit. So but yeah, I think I also have a capacity in me to understand that a lot of people that might be especially like new to this like
Mhm.
gatekeeping things is a lot of them, I'm not saying all, but a lot of these people are going from one environment, often religious,
Mhm.
or like even if you're not brought up in a religious household, if you live in this continent, you're going to be brought up in a religious tone.
Or like,
right?
yeah, where what the idea of
Yeah.
spirituality
Like
means. Yeah.
Yeah.
Puritan culture and all that. Like
Hmm.
that's prevalent
Following
here.
rules and doing things
Yeah,
the
you
right
know?
way.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I just feel like for a lot of people coming into this, they have that as their base, their foundation. And so everything they see is through that lens. So I can have a capacity to understand that, you know, they can't see it another way. And for them to see it another way, it's going to take time. And that's why I love the whole idea. Like, I love the fact that one of our, like, as a group, we really push the idea of like fool energy and FAFO witchcraft. Like, we love to call it like fascio. I can't talk today. Like, FAFO scrappy witchcraft. Like, just
Mhm.
Yeah.
whatever you have on hand. If it's just you, it's fine. Try things, make mistakes, but the whole thing is like just making an environment for people that they feel okay to try and experiment. And I think it's a great way to discover who you are as a person too. Like one of my favorite practices I do with people is I'm like, if you celebrated Halloween or you went to any dress up event or you were in a situation where you just dressed up for fun, and or you had a game where you played pretend, what was your character that you preferred to be, that you loved and you felt so powerful? Because for me, I was a fucking vampire or a witch like every fucking Halloween. And I felt so badass, like all black, black lipstick, like,
Yep.
or red lipstick and like red eyeliner around my eyes to be like a vampire.
Mhm.
And I just felt so good in my body. And
Mhm.
like just acting like very sensual vampire vibes like that. I just felt
Mhm.
so powerful. And like only later as I got older, I realized because that's who I am.
Mhm.
Like that's how I
That's your
identify.
core, yeah, your
Yeah.
core
Yeah. And I think, and now this is kind of going off topic, but I think this is why I've loved drag queens since I was a kid. My auntie used to bring me to drag shows, and I think it's because it's like the alter ego, but the alter ego is actually them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, is that your alter ego, or is your alter ego the mass person that you are out in the
right?
world
Like when you're
to
not
be
Right.
drag.
safe? But when you're drag, you're actually yourself. And I think that's why I love drag so much. It's just like when I see that, I'm like, oh my God, like seeing you like this makes me feel free,
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah,
just always been
absolutely.
So
yeah.
confidence building.
And
Yeah.
that's
And
why
that's
they're
why,
under attack right now.
yeah, because they don't
Yeah.
want people to be free.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
the drags, by the way, but the other one. Like,
Right.
and it's just like for me, they're some of the most incredibly brave people for doing that,
Mhm.
and like they're the true warriors, in my opinion, to like go out there and do their thing and fucking fight for it.
Especially old school drag, like before like the kind of like commodification. I mean, which is great. I love it that RuPaul's Drag Race really like blew up drag in a way, but it also made it like a little bit more like other pieces of art, right? Where it's like, this is what drag is, right? Drag is this kind of performance and this kind of makeup and these kinds of wigs.
Yeah.
And I remember like the old school drag where it was just like
Priscilla,
people were
Queen of the Desert, who loved that.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
People
Oh,
just wearing like shitty makeup and like ratty ass wigs and like, doing their thing, stomping around in their heels. I
oh,
loved it. And
Yeah.
like, it's so funny that you bring that up because my life, I feel like, and as I've, like really, I feel like because of my position, like in the union as, the former Pride chair and now Pride co-chair, like, and a really out non-binary person, especially somebody who identifies mostly as trans masc but like looks very femme most of the time, like I really have been giving a lot of thought to like what the fuck even is gender, right? And like
mm,
I know for some people, like if you feel like the gender that you were assigned works for you and like that's how you feel and you've never even thought about it and you are happy living your life, cool. For me, I am like everything feels like a fucking performance. Like my whole life feels like drag, right? And like so it's like who am I today? What do I want people to see me as? Like, and part of that goes back to like what you were saying, right? With fashion in general for anybody of any gender, is like, how do I want to be perceived? but it's like I feel like no matter what I'm wearing, it's a fucking costume as far as like gender goes, right? And so that's why I kind of like to mix it up a little, like today I'm wearing like my fancy chicken earrings,
I know, I
you
love
know.
them. I love
I
those.
know.
love it.
So for those who don't know, I don't remember if I've ever mentioned it on the podcast, but I have chickens. I have 3 chickens, and they are so fucking. I love chicken energy. Like if you've never been around hens that are like happy and peaceful, and not like hens that are stressed out on a fucking farm, a factory farm, like hens that have like hens that have freedom are like the most sassy ass motherfuckers ever. Like they give zero fucks. And I had to buy these because you can't really see, but they're wearing little cowboy boots, like little red cowboy boots, and I love that energy. I actually just bought myself some cowboy boots at an antique store, because I'm like, yeah, because my other cowboy boots were actually like my sister's old, like actually worked in cowboy boots, and they were like really worn out, and I was like, I need some fancy ones, like I need some like norteño kind of cowboy boots, right? Like and I love this energy, right? Like hen energy is like the best. It's very Aries.
I
Like
kind of feel like our podcast is head energy.
our podcast is totally hen energy. Yes. It's like, hey, I'm talking about this over here. Buck, 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 like, right? And like, we don't give a fuck. And yeah, but like, I'm also wearing a binder right now, and then I'm wearing like Danskin women's leggings. And then, so, and then I was wearing like high top Pumas, like that were black and pink, which like was my favorite color combination as a little girl, so it's like, I don't give a fuck. Like I'm like Alok V Menon, like I'm like, you can sit there and wonder what the fuck I am all day long. Like I'm okay with that, but like, yeah, for me, performing gender is like when I like drag it out, like when I really like overplay it, like and exaggerate it, it's fun. But like when I'm just trying to like do it to like fit in somewhere and like be whatever, like it's exhausting. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So drag is drag people in drag, or people who are like gender fluid, or people who live in any kind of liminal space. Man, we are like big ass trickster energy in the culture.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, it's freeing too. It's like if you are willing to do this thing, like we were saying earlier, like the fool's energy or the fool's journey, like with the tarot and everything, if you're willing to do something that's going to stand out and make people look at you, no matter what you're performing, it's like that is so freeing. No, everyone's just going to be like, oh my gosh. And you're like, yep,
This is me.
This is me.
yeah.
Yeah. And it
And I
also,
think like that goes for cis people too. Like you can decide what a woman is for you. If you're a cis,
exactly.
like you can stop shaving your legs and you can wear
Yeah, 100%. And it really makes me rethink of like what we kind of perceive as the warrior archetype, right? Like it's not just someone who's in battle and fighting and like, it's someone who just, embraces their femininity, whether that's drag, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you're embracing your masculinity, or maybe you're embracing no gender at all and you're saying, I don't give a fuck. Like I'm just gonna put something on and embrace me. Like that to me is warrior energy, because you're fighting against these ideals and these boxes that society has for some reason created for us to control us. And like that is, to me, that's like a magical practice in and of itself. Like that's witchcraft. And I think that's why I've also always been more attracted to witchcraft over ceremonial magic. I love high magic. I do all the big rituals and all the ceremonial stuff, but like witchcraft is like
super awesome.
Yeah, witchcraft is humanity. Like it's our humanness. It's getting in touch with our soul.
It's like being the little kid and going like, I'm gonna throw a bunch of random leaves into a bucket of water and see what happens and stir it. Or like, I'm gonna pick up this rock and I'm gonna like make a wish on it and throw it into the river and see what happens.
And who's to say that it works? So you don't know.
Right. Like all the shit that I did as a kid, I'm just like,
yeah.
Y'all want to do something fun real quick for like 10 seconds?
Yeah.
Do you all know where your camera is on whatever device you're using?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. For 10 seconds, we're just going to stare at it for 10 seconds.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Okay, no blinking. Okay.
Like, all right, ready? And
Mhm.
go.
I'm really bad at staring without laughing.
I know,
I always
right?
have to make a funny face, like literally every kid photo.
I know, right? And I'm like super aware of like the fact that I have to pee right now. Just to
And
be
that was
real.
it.
Yay.
That's some weird energy. Like
Yeah.
the energy you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. That's what it feels like to look at the mirror.
Yeah,
hmm
it's so fun.
Yeah. Like a very powerful spell is like to look in the mirror and look yourself in the eye and like say whatever you need to say to yourself and like mean it.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I did in that same class too. We had like the whole studio had like a mirror across it, and I would have the students dance, looking themselves in the eye the whole time, and woof, you can see the discomfort at first, but by the end of like the song, and I always made sure it was like a 2 minute song or nothing like
Right. Like not a
minute
really
long.
like a
Yeah.
10-minute dance remix.
Yeah,
Why did you put Queen on, you know?
Like I'd be like, I'm putting on the 12-inch single.
So
but
awesome.
it was so cool. And then I also had one where it was like we had I had everybody sit in front of the mirror looking in your eyes and thinking about something that you wanted to like tell yourself to like comfort yourself, and then had everyone go to the back of the room and dance towards the mirror telling yourself that way you look yourself in the eye. And that was something that was like so moving for to
Mm.
see. It's such a cool
I
experience.
love that.
Me too.
Thank you, Nishita, because I never really thought of working with my eyes, and it's making me think of things like the evil eye and
Mm-hmm.
like how it's like watch like, projecting outwards. That's how I think of it, and
Yeah.
like giving the stank eye to like anything coming in your way. And I don't
Yeah.
know, it's really powerful. Like, even if you look at an animal in the eye, like there's something that goes on, whether
Mm.
it's pleasant or not.
Right, yeah,
Even
whether it's perceived as aggression or like
yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like I know like you're not supposed to like dogs directly in the eye, right? Because they take it
Yeah.
as aggression. But I find myself like doing that with like shelter dogs a lot because I feel like we're telepathically communicating.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and I don't think like that's me projecting, like because that's how they're responding to me. And it's so
Right.
fucking weird. And I
Mm-hmm.
also think like when I'm thinking about how you're describing this, Nishida, it's bringing to mind this tantra class that I took where we actually had to do this with a partner and stare
Yeah.
them in the eye. Yes. And it
Yeah,
was
that's
at
powerful.
first so uncomfortable, but then you realize like that is like you're making love to this person.
Yes.
In however way you define that. Like not necessarily like I'm gonna have sex with you,
Yeah.
because this was like a random, this was not like my romantic partner that I was partnering with because I took it as a single person, like, and they took it as a single person. We were just paired up, and a lot of people in the class, it was like that. And it was like at first so fucking uncomfortable, but then it was like, I love you and I
Yeah.
want you to know that I love you.
Yeah.
And like, so I can see how like that would be so powerful for the people in your class.
I almost wonder if that happens. This just popped in my head. Okay. Just I'm having a Pisces moment. I almost wonder if that happens because when you look at someone in the eye, you're not seeing the full picture anymore. You're not seeing the human, like what you're seeing presented in front of you. And you stop, and it's like those walls get dissolved, and it's just the acknowledgement of there's this person in front of you, and it just like it's connecting on that level. Like you're
Mm.
just only beings. You're not the shell anymore. I wonder if there's something with that. Do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
do.
Yeah.
It is. I had another exercise in my class where I would have people like pair up, if we had like an even number or whatever to pair up. And the people that would pair would try to keep eye contact throughout the class. And I asked them to, one person would dance, the other person would just, they could move, but like they're not doing the main dancing. The person dancing had to envision themselves in a location, um, like just something specific to, not like, oh, I'm in the right corner of my closet, like somewhere
Right.
very like specific.
Mhm.
And almost every time at the end of class, I'd have the person who was watching say where they thought that person dancing was, and it almost always matched up.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's so cool.
You had like a witchy dance studio this year. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I loved it. I do miss it. But hopefully I'll be able to do stuff similar another time. But yeah, it's just so cool to see the connections of people when they have that energy, that spark. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My friend took an acting class that was kind of similar to that, where they like sat across from another stranger. Like you didn't know anybody in the class, and you just sat across, and one person mimicked the other person. So you would just stare straight into the
Oh
eyes.
yes.
And if they kind of like scratch their head, the other
You
person
had to do
scratches their
it.
head.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I've done
Yeah.
that in
So they're
acting
like
classes too.
mirroring
The
each
mirror.
other.
Yeah.
Mirror. Yeah. That's
And
fun.
Yeah.
they said that it was just really uncomfortable and disarming almost, because then you kind of realize how much you fidget when you're staring at someone in the eyes, like you're gonna get a little nervous. So if they take a deep breath, you have to take a deep breath. And yeah, it's supposed to help you build intimacy and connection with the camera lens, because the camera lens is like a big eyeball that is watching you. So yeah.
And like we mirror, sometimes we subconsciously do it, or you can do it on purpose, like to build mirror neurons with people. Yeah, and it sucks because capitalism, of course, exploits that, right? To like get people to like buy things from you or whatever, or like that's how influencers work, because they like try to do little like sayings and movements that they think their audience will connect with.
Yeah, like a false charisma almost.
Get ready with me.
Yeah.
It's like you just need to be a Taurus, and then you have natural charisma. Especially if you're also a fire dragon, then you have supernatural charisma. And then if you're a Sagittarius moon, you have amazing charisma, and then you're May. I have plus 10 charisma. No, I don't know. My dad was very charismatic. I think that's where I get it, honestly. It's like just learning from him.
It was like you were describing your Dungeon and Dragon character or something.
Yeah,
Like,
that's where I was going. In my bag of holding, I have Sagittarius moon.
chicken earrings.
Chicken earrings. That's +2. No. So +2 charisma, +5 strength, +70 sass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any cards or anything with them today?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
Holly Oracle.
That's
I
these.
just love it when we do that at the end.
I'm like, yeah, it feels tight.
I got the crafting witch intention cards. I
Ooh,
thought like that would be something
perfect.
that would be like perfect for like intentions of just go
Oh,
and stuff. So
Yeah.
Get my shit together.
I'm like thinking of that book that you shared earlier. Like, what is it called? The T-shirt book?
Oh, the Generation T. Oh yeah.
Generation T.
And I also love, okay, so we Hindu leaning people will appreciate that it's also 108 ways.
I was not 110, not 100.
108. It's such a cool book though, y'all. And I was so excited to find it again at the thrift store. I'm like,
Yeah.
hello, friends. I missed you.
It's a good book.
It's such a good book.
It's funny because when you
like
first
me and you have all these fucking t-shirts, because we do tie dye, and then like also I'm in a union, so I get t-shirts at every fucking convention. Anyway, sorry.
I just feel like it's a good title for a podcast, Generation T.
Generation T. For all the
True.
I also feel like it's like not only like tea that you drink, but then it also makes me think of like trans people, right?
Yeah.
Like Generation T.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I came to late in life.
Ooh.
All right, I have my card.
Yee. Yay.
This one says, my motivation is fueled by the thrill that my goals will bring. I am ready to create my dreams.
I love that.
Oh, yes.
It's
my
like
God.
a little
And it's tea.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God,
Little
it's so
succulent in a teacup.
perfect.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh, that's so perfect. And the lily,
Yeah, and just how
Oh,
it's
it
like
is a lily. I thought it was a little succulent at first.
so
yeah,
Okay,
perfect.
yes.
right,
Perfect.
and the wave and the
Yes.
moon and talking about that earlier and yeah,
The lily that
Perfectly
grows from
on
the
point.
chaos of mud.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
all that going on in there, and then something above is just blooming. And if you didn't see what all was in the cup, you'd be like, "Oh, a pretty flower."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But like, yeah, the wave and yeah, all of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
And then there was another card that was stuck to it that I was like, "Oh, I'll share this one too." It says, "I am fearless in the pursuit of what I desire," and I thought that
Oh, very
kind of
cool.
cool too.
Oh,
The
I would
first
love to
so
make
card,
that into a
perfect.
poster.
the first card was the individual. This is the duality or the Libra
Right?
card, the
Mm.
reflector.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I was like, "All right, I gotta share them both because I was
Yeah.
too good, too good."
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Mm.
I'll go next. So I'm pulling from the Hecatico Tarot. It's a tarot deck of Hecate. I feel like obviously she's very catalyst. I got the King of Swords, and in this deck it's associated with Zeus.
Mm.
And I'm just thinking of like thunder and
Mm.
lightning and electricity. And what was really interesting about this, I kind of forgot to talk about this, but Nishida, actually, you helped me kind of connect this. So Aries is associated with the head, um, but it's often associated with like the root in
Mm.
like the chakra system and or like the color red, which makes me think of earth. And then I also
Mm.
was thinking of like the Mayan, that sign that I was telling you, Gaban, which also represents like the sky, not really so much the earth, but like it will be associated with like thoughts and or lightning and or the woodpecker. But what's really funny about that is like I'm like, oh my God, like Aries is the head, but there's also this connection to the root at the same time. Like it's that duality I think that I'm seeing because when I think of Libra, I also think of like headspace. And so
Mm.
there's like this connection there with like the head and the body, right? Like I'm the individual, but I'm also connected with everything. And so I think when I see the King of Swords, it's like, you know, speaking your truth through the embodiment of you, like
Mm.
embracing every part of you and the lightning that is created when you take a chance on being seen through the darkness of the clouds or the stagnancy of the world, and how that lights up the sky and how that inspires others to do the same, and
Mm.
how that's connected to everything. You know, like lightning is connected to water and it's connected to air and it's connected to fire. And there's just like that individual and unification of Aries and Libra, that dichotomy. It's just really cool to see, you know, once again, like this air quality, but it is also still very fiery with the lightning.
Yeah.
And lightning seeks
Mm.
the earth.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Ah, so cool. I love it.
Mhm.
Okay, so I picked Gauri Devi.
Mm.
Mm. Mhm.
I don't know.
Oh, that's
My
so
camera seems really blurry anyway today, so I apologize. I don't know what's going on. So I'm this, for those who don't know, this book is the Kali Oracle deck. I forget who it's by, but she always has like it's like a little novella for each card, basically. I mean, and then she has a ritual at the end. But I'm just gonna read the opening description. Champion of the sweet souls with fierce hearts who are underestimated and passed over. She who is gentle as the deer and as ruthless as the lioness, who is the capacity within the awakened heart to rise, to overcome obstacles, to have faith without any evidence of victory, and to rally the spirit until the right moment to act and win is felt. She is nonconformity and the freedom to be one's true self. Recognize your own beauty and value, irrespective of whether another has capacity to behold it at this time. You shall shine. So let me try to make it.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I just love this deck. It's
It's
so
like spot on.
like every
Yeah.
card is a piece of art. Oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
so annoying. Ah.
There you go.
Did your eyes.
It needs to think that the card is your face. There you go. Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Beautiful deck.
She's one of my
Darling
favorite. I
God.
always love when I draw her. That reminds me, like, yeah, you know what? Who gives a fuck if anybody else sees my brilliance? I'm gonna fucking shine anyway.
And all your cards are just so perfect for today. So I'm doing a little bit of a different deck. This is new to me. This is called Oracle of the Hecatean Path. Sorry, there's like there you go. And then the card I took is this is the third time this card has popped up, so I guess it's important. It is, let me see if I can get it there. It's Axis Mundi, and the word is crux. And it so works with our whole thing because it's just kind of like what Veronica was saying, like the connection with, the mind and the body, the soul, like connection from like, the sky, the earth, the middle ground, the underworld, and like bringing that all together. And I really feel like this really plays on what we were talking about today because it's kind of like that spiritual connection to like the sacred fire in us and the spark and the inspiration and creativity, but also how, you know, we hold that, but how can we like share that out with everyone, or how does that spill out around us and impact everyone around us, and how like for everyone that does this and like connects into that part of themselves, and how that will just bleed out amongst everything around them anyways. Like you don't really have to have the intention to share it. It's just going to bleed out. Does that make sense? Am I even saying that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like it's such a powerful act to be in your sacred creativity and to be expressive and to be the fool and try the things and take the risks. And, when you live that life of authenticity and like, really enriching your soul and feeding yourself, you're also feeding everyone around you, by like sharing that warmth, that flame that everyone else can feel, and give them the permission to do the same for themselves, especially if you do it in a way that's like very welcoming to everyone else. And it's not about competition or like, I'm better than you. It's all about like, cheering others on and bringing them along for the ride. So, yeah.
Like, hey, here's some tools to create. Like, have some
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Be the spark, be the lightning in someone's life. You never know what will happen. We never know what seed you'll plant and how that'll
Yeah.
grow.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right, friends.
Yeah.
This was great.
Yep.
This was.
I feel like y'all helped me so much, like really see that dichotomy between Aries and Libra. So thank you.
Yeah.
What a good conversation.
This was.
Yeah.
And then just like for me as a Taurus sun, like how and growing up with like my dad was a Libra and my sister was a Libra. So it's like just how Taurus and Libra like overlap so much and yet like are so different, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Very cool.
My best friend is an Aries, and I'm like a sun, and me, Capricorn. We've been friends since elementary school and still best friends. And yeah, it's pretty
Oh,
awesome.
that's awesome.
I love Aries. I don't have any of it in me, but I love them.
I have a
love
lot
that
in my
too.
life, yeah. Like my Chiron is in Aries, but I think that's it. But yeah,
Mm.
my half brother and half sister are both Aries, and my best friend is an Aries, or one of my best friends. Yeah, like a lot.
Aw.
I feel like there's more that I'm not remembering. One of her, yeah, one of my best friend's daughters is an Aries. Sometimes.
Well, thank you everyone for stopping by and
Yes.
listening to us for a couple of hours. We appreciate it once again.
I know we're always like, this is gonna be probably a shorter episode, and then
Yeah,
we're
we
like,
thought it was, but
No, we
Once we
A
get
lot
our
of
lips
seeds there.
flapping.
right.
All right, well, thank you all so much. Have
Bye,
a great
friends.
night.
Night.
Stare at the camera. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.